Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to session. Immediately opens incorrect application. I'm pretty sure this is 13. Uh, I just love it when I hit something on my taskbar on my second monitor and it opens a program that I don't want it to open when I'm trying to get to Chrome. Yes, we are on session 13. We just got out of the vault. Grodrick was successfully rescued. Yay! Wormwood Masters was successfully banished. Mixed results. Survey says the chess.com rating of that is an inaccuracy. Chess.com rating of Grodrick's rescue was book move. It was good. It was solid. And then we have, of course, our the scroll that was alluded to at the end of the session, which was a contract. That's something also of an inaccuracy, potentially a mistake, but it was that was my secret little funny. But you have now been informed of sort of those stakes, and I hope everyone in the party has a better understanding of where.
Wait, do we know this or do our characters know this?
Know what about the scroll?
Like the scroll and stuff. I remember us talking about it, but I couldn't remember if it was in session.
Sable got a vision regarding it. I'm pretty sure Malachi got something as well. Although when I checked the recording, it was just Sable running
Yeah, I think it
divination.
was. I
I
think it was
think,
disabled.
yeah, I think he may need to check that. But I believe it was prompted by some kind of. I'm pretty sure Malachi was given essentially a premonition that the job was left unfinished. I
Yeah, I
don't
remember that.
Yeah, I do not remember if he
I don't think I
himself, if
have
his mind
specific
wandered to the
details.
scroll. I'm probably going to say that it did as well as Brendan, but you might not have the same details that Brendan's character Sable does because he cast divination. So I'm sure that will be communicated at some point. I don't know what his ETA is. Where we left off time wise, it was 10 p.m. on Wednesday, prepping for a long rest. It is now the month of September 1st on this Wednesday in 1632. So we can move forward to the next morning unless there are other immediate matters that need attention.
Well, I imagine if we're gonna skip forward, are we just gonna do like are we gonna come back to like filing the mission report and then just getting stuff done?
You could do that. The time is yours. Whatever you so desire.
Yeah, because I remember we were going through the treasure that we got,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I guess I would just kind of want to see some of the progress that took place while we were gone,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then like update Malik, Vesper, the usual people on some of the stuff that we observed while we were there.
Okay. Cool. You want to keep this high level?
Yeah, you could just keep it high level.
All right. So I have been reviewing the list in terms of things that have got done. First, you may notice the map is updated. This is for a very important reason. Welcome to your official 300 by 300 grid of Private Sanctum, sponsored by Osnek Upcasting the Spell. One of the goals that was mentioned, unfortunately, they're in picture format, and I've been too lazy to copy them. But uh, make the entire settlement teleport proof. For that to happen, essentially everything that you construct and primarily reside in is locked within this 300 by 300 foot barrier. So far, pretty much every major structure is there. I think I have these tents, which I haven't really removed. I effectively changed the map so that the corners are no longer the actual ends of things. Oh, look at those people. I'll keep them here for the sake of it. But effectively, I may make new maps. The other thought of a light retcon was just moving the preliminary farms just north of here, so that there's not a canonically massive walking, or there could be a separate farm being set up here and then more farmland up north. I don't particularly care. But
Yeah, we can do that. I'll take more farmland.
yeah, you can just have a Daria cultivate it. Then I may move these and we'll say there's still a tree and something else there. I just copied it up here. So I will just preserve this. And the reason I thought about moving the farmland is making, like, now that there is a proof of concept, making it easier to have immediately accessible plots of land within Private Sanctum, and then if you need to expand further north, you can. But at the very least, you have something nearby so that you're not like walking miles for food, and you have the water reservoir here, right by the magic school, which can also be moved. Any number of these things can be moved. It would just require work. So in terms of what has been done, theoretically, then new plots of farmland within the Private Sanctum, clearly defined borders, and plans for defensive structures and other things incoming. I need to pull up that list after I make these little adjustments here, and then review what exactly is going on there. Because there are a few other things that were pretty easy to track in terms of progress. Let me copy this. Just put it in the document so I can read it. Spy network to Lucine. I have a list of names from people from Lucine proper. I'm theoretically sort of potentially ready to start revealing that information, but I have some work to do on that front. Crops for medicinal and magical herbs. I imagine this is a large section of what this new little plot is, where it's some food, some vegetables, but it's things that are not going to require vast swaths of land to cultivate. It's little rows of plants that you're crafting for specific purposes and managing pretty intently, which also means that Vanna could potentially move from here and set up shop closer there. Doesn't really matter. And that also means that there's going to be now a transition period where the each essentially rank. I think I had told you guys that we restructured the units so that they're all even about having 16 members.
Yeah.
This was disclosed. So I'm preserving that, but there can be a rotation where members who wish to farm and do not wish to, say, be active military per se, they'll still be a part of that unit, but their duties can be shifted. It would still result in those units having training days and times that you would have to show up for, but your duties would shift from, hey, you're an active guard or you're expected to stay in a combatant role, to you are now essentially a civil militia. What is going to be your role?
Are you including the stuff that I was talking about where I want them to start learning a trade from the people who can teach?
That can all pretty easily be organized, yes.
Okay.
The other order of business that was kind of important that has been sitting out there is the people in the archives. It's probably about time for them to have gotten back if there's no reason for them to stay there.
I was actually just texting you or typing to you about that.
Yeah.
I'd like to propose, if I guess once I know about this, I would propose that there is a location outside of this barrier, which is like our teleportation point.
Got it.
That is where I want us to be casting the teleport every day, but it's going to be outside. And the goal is that we want to set up like a guard station there. So it has to be a place that's defendable, you know, something like that. Where the goal is people who teleport in, they have to say a code word. It's very secure.
Right.
And then they can come in. That's where we're going to go out from as well. So that's going to be like our set location.
All right. Then this is unironically a lot of what I'd imagine could get done today is taking in-game time and shoring up what this base looks like, because I can make a lot of changes off screen or whatever, but I'm not really the one pulling the trigger on what things are going to look like. That is something good I'll write down. In terms of who's actually coming back from the archives, theoretically, it's primarily Steward and Rainey, and I think some of the dwarves. So they can kind of get reintegrated, and obviously you'll still have a way back to the archives through Osnick and through your amulet as well, since you know it's there, and you have the device centering it, and that seems to be working functionally under Rainey and Steward's observation. But getting food to them is super obnoxious, and so it's probably easier if you have base camp, and then if there's times that you set up to go there, it'll be less resource intensive than having them constantly stocked there. Now, the things that kind of physically require change, I think it's probably time for me to write down the funny logistics list, if I can actually pull up my document here. The Lucine proper network, I'm going to leave that for now because I have that written down. I'm going to write something down for... Ew, why is it doing this? It's like putting the text above the image. Camp physical improvements, I'm going to write. Because there's sort of a mixture on this list of physical labor that needs to be done and logistic information and structures that need to be put in place. So in terms of physical upgrades to the camp, one thing that was mentioned was defensive structures, the primary thing of that would be, walls, I would imagine. But any other ideas, obviously, if you have them, you can write them down, or I will write them down. Crop sections, which we somewhat discussed for medicinal and magical herbs, and of course...
Let's get anti-aircraft guns.
Do you know how much I love anti-aircraft guns?
So we can have them?
No, not accessible. I wish. I would love to give you... Anti-aircraft guns are one of the coolest things ever, but no, they don't exist. What's funny?
So,
I don't know. I think I can't tell you this, but yeah.
Where's our where do we have our training fields?
Training is kind of weird. There's sort of the big square that's here, and this is rotationally used for, gatherings, meetings, but it's just a big open square of dirt, so different units can rotate through and do training drills here.
I would suggest we set up a training field, and that way, meta-wise, we can have some little combat sparrings. And in-game, it's like a set location that we can keep relevant things there as we continue to amass what we need.
Okay, let me write that down. Basically, I'm going to try to get a to-do list of everything we're going to do, and then timeline it out and actively build it. We're saying it's like Thursday morning, right? Theoretically, right now. So probably what's happening in-game is all of these high-level conversations between Vesper, Malachi, Thaloran, theoretically Grotcher, unless he's off picking his nose. I don't know what he's doing. He just got back from slavery, so maybe he needs time to recover, or maybe he got lost and is going north when he's supposed to be going south. I don't really know. But I'm imagining that there's a meeting going on to discuss essentially the agenda and itinerary for all that needs to get done, and then I'll walk it out and we can basically literally schedule the days that it happens and make the changes. So currently for physical improvements, defensive structures, a dedicated training field, the crop sections for medicinal magical herbs, tree cover for the encampment was another thing that I had written down that Malachi had suggested, which Dariah could potentially start working on. I think... in terms of like security, I'm pretty sure the teleport proof thing is basically addressed as long as you're within the private sanctum. I'm looking for anything else. I think that's all of the physical to-dos. The one I'll reiterate that Malik will communicate from the men is like living quarters. Actual physical buildings for living quarters as opposed to tents. And phasing out tents and creating some structure where there's a little bit greater security and stability. There's not much that you can do with it now. The biggest problem is you don't have wood, which really limits a lot of more advanced construction.
What about the stone structures?
That's pretty much, well, they're basically mud brick. They're not exactly stone because they're all developed from mold earth. So they work, but the roofs kind of require maintenance because they're large, and it's they're not super durable in terms of their longevity. The walls are pretty much all right. The roofs are not great. So there's that construction issue. So I'll just say living quarters and other buildings for physical improvements. And then I just want to record the other, I'm going to say logistics, which is spies to Lucine proper, allowing farmers to, how do I say this? Essentially splitting your, what are they called? Troops? Units? To allow farming and new schedules. Learning trades. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, and classes. That's pretty much what that was, yeah. Classes for commoners. I think That is the majority of what is currently on the docket. Basically 8 things. Defensive structures, a dedicated training field, crop sections, tree cover, living quarters, and or other buildings. And then logistics is spies to Lucine proper, splitting units to allow farming and schedules, and then classes for learning trades. Is there anything else that should be added to this little to-do list?
I think that covers most of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I ate so much meat. I'm like,
Okay.
I missed
I'm
like
eating a
the
fancy apple.
second half of that list.
Okay. I will
So I can't think of anything, but
pop. Why? Discord keeps doing this thing where it is preventing me from pulling up the document.
the hater.
I do not know why. It does hate me. That must be the only logical answer. I also probably needed to restart my computer before I started session, but I'm stuck now. Ew. It just removed all of my formatting. Well, now I am going to make it an image. I was going to make it copyable text, but if you remove my formatting, that's gross. All right, I'm dropping this in campaign chat for a little list.
I haven't restarted my computer in 24 days.
That's crazy. Mine does not maintain anywhere near its peak performance when I leave it going that long. This technically should have a divider.
My uptime is 25 days, 12 hours, 56 minutes.
It also have a divider. Wow. I'm gonna just put some supports here. Yeah. There.
And that was only because of a power outage. Or not a power outage. My dad was turned off the circuits to do some work on our bathroom.
Huh. Alrighty then.
None of the circuit breakers are labeled, so he just he just went guessing.
Are they labeled now?
Some of them.
Okay. Nice. All right. What on this list shall we begin addressing?
So we got back like what time? Oh, you're saying this is the day after we returned.
Yeah, you returned in the evening. I think you returned in the evening, or the
I remember
session
we
time was
went
marked
to
as in the
the-
evening.
I remember we went to the temples and stuff.
Yeah, I think you probably returned early evening, and then session went through to late evening at the camp. I
Mhm.
don't know what this is. This probably shouldn't be. There we go. All right, my pen is ready. What shall we do? Y'all have the list, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Need some nice
I mean, I think defensive structure should be a good starting point.
Yeah, either that or the training grounds. They're not that complicated to do.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
It's gonna be so loud, probably.
Because like for crop sections, I'm gonna want to do research.
Yeah.
I'm gonna want to look into like what would actually be good to grow.
Think I'm probably gonna have to either bite the bullet or just come up with random nonsense, because I think John in his campaign was working on a crafting system. I might just have to steal that or add to it, because I'd want to do that. I just haven't overcome the activation energy of actually starting that process. So yes, at some point, because that's probably going to be relevant for Vanna and making the potions and determining what herbs need to be grown and whether they can be grown here, etc., etc. So, at some point, we can do that. So, defensive structures and a training field. How's this gonna work? I can pretty easily recruit. Malachi can cast Mold Earth now, so he can assist, but Both can also assist. Walls are easy.
Yeah.
If we're just talking 5-foot brick walls, that's a gimme. No holes in them, no viewports, whatever it is, wherever they need to be.
What were did they have concrete? They didn't have concrete back then, right?
That's a complicated question, and the answer isn't fully no.
Well, I guess they kind of did, but like
So,
it wasn't like mass
for
availability.
generally, yes. I will say this. In real antiquity, Roman concrete was a thing. It was
Mhm.
a complex process where essentially they would have pools that they have sitting out in the sun with specific mixtures at specific times, and they would have this rule set for how it's produced essentially naturally. It wasn't short, and it wasn't at obviously the industrial scale that we do it today, but it was quite a large operation, and it did work pretty well. I do not think, even though that is not unfeasible for Mandril to have access to, I can tell you confidently that Lucine does not even do stuff. I'll tell you who does stuff like that is people from Kuningriek.
I was gonna say
Because
that
now,
sounds more like them.
granted, you have people from Kuningriek in your camp. So there might be people from Kuningriek who actually know how to construct what they would call their concrete. They're completely non-magical means, and it would be much sturdier than the mud bricks, but you would need a specific mixture of materials that may or may not be available here. It is a thing.
Hmm.
Hydraulic setting cement added to an aggregate. Yeah, the Roman aqueducts were built out of those. Ba-ba. Sometimes incorporated pozzolanic ash where available. Prevented cracks from spreading. That's crazy. Mixtures of lime, conglomerate clast that allow concrete to self-repair cracks. Insane. So it's possible. You may be able to find something. If you talk to the right people.
In the
From
meantime, at
Kuningrick?
least
Mhm.
Kuningrick?
Kuningriek.
yeah, you can start
Isn't Rainy from there?
activating.
I don't
Wasn't she
know.
part of that group?
I think she's from Zara.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
But-
Rainish do us per day limber this at their Yesh house, Zara. She was part of the Perry P. Winifred crew.
Yeah, but so was Light, and he's from Kuningrick.
Oh, yeah.
So I saw him, and I control Google Sheets does not like function for me anymore. I can't control F.
Oh.
A lot of features are just broken. I don't know why.
Okay, gross.
So
I just sort by origin. I look at everybody from Kuningriek. A bunch of your officers are from Kuningriek because of their time with Malik. So Cassius Finch, Alter Vanderbilt, Victor Verkum,
Mhm.
Pengrave Suvius, Vitus Suvius, and yeah, Dent and Light McKay. And then you got a bunch of soldiers from there.
yeah, Light would not know the ins and outs of concrete.
I'm sure. I doubt many of these people would, minus this guy. Let's see what this guy knows. Let's roll. Why don't you roll a history check for me, Victor? Nope, he certainly doesn't know. The only other guy who might know. Yeah. No, he doesn't know either. Okay, well the dice say no concrete for you.
Haters.
Truly. So what are we thinking for walls? Let's start
Yeah,
there.
I was just saying we could start with excavating. Like start excavating where we plan on setting up those buildings, or at least a training ground.
Okay. I will pull up your 300 by 300 grid. This is the area you have to work with.
So, actually, it might be better to start. Should we put the
Welcome.
homes closer to the fields?
It's your call.
That way, people can they don't have to travel that far to go tend to the fields.
I mean, it's not like they're traveling that far. It's a matter of like 300 feet. You are technically, at this point, welcome to the city planning part of D&D. There is something to be said about flow of traffic in this layout.
I think that
You have few enough buildings, semi-permanent structures now. You have, what, 5 semi-permanent structures? That you can kind of lay out any system of travel you like, because all the tents can just move, and it's wide open space.
hmm
So you actually have a lot of room to play with, but you would have to know where the tents are going to move in order to start playing with it.
Well, I like the idea of building homes closer to the fields,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or at least, or rather, whatever it is they're going to be doing nearby. So, like, if they're going to be processing it, or like, are our kitchens the food place that's solid, or was that just
Mm-hmm.
mold earthed?
It's everything is essentially mold earthed. They're not terrible. Like I said, the biggest problem with maintenance is going to be the roofs. They're going to give out the soonest, and they were doing okay, and then it rained.
Mm-hmm.
So they took some damage.
So Lauren can make stone shapes, right?
You can.
Yeah.
I just don't imagine he can do like a million.
No.
If there's like a place we wanted to build first, that might help move the process. How big can you make those?
The mud areas, like the mud brick structures.
No, how big can the Lauren's stone
Oh,
I think
shape
okay.
stone
be?
shape is like 5 by 5 or
Uh,
something like that. It's not much.
5 by 5. Okay. All right. Cool. 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 Cool.
Let me see who's qualified on this, because you need, if you're not going to rely on Both to make a bunch of mud structures, what you kind of need is a construction crew.
I actually have people for a construction crew.
Okay.
Um, I just would have to go pick them up.
Who you thinking?
Didn't I get some
Oh, you're talking about the
bugbear
dwarves. Oh, you're talking the bugbears, but you
and the
also you talked to the
dwarves?
dwarves who were helping Dweeby.
Yeah.
They would be great picks to start heading actual construction crews.
Also, we have dwarves who might be able to do that.
You do. They're more mountain dwarves. I mean, kind of. So they're more used to working with stone. The dwarves that you interacted with were more hill dwarves and more commonly woodworkers. So that would be the difficulty. Is, I mean, they're still competent at construction, but lack of wood is your current issue. Because
Hmm.
if you have wood, you can make doors. You can make window frames, and you can still primarily use mud brick or clay bricks, but you'll be able to do a bunch of things. You can lay beams to support a roof. You can make gables. You can make clay roofs. Like that wood is the missing piece of the puzzle.
And how quickly, well, like how quickly do druids make stuff grow?
Not quickly enough that you could simply farm wood from them, especially since Dryas' focus right now is cultivating food and herbs.
Hmm. Hmm.
So she could accelerate, like, if it takes a tree 50 years, like a good solid oak tree, 50 years to grow into pretty good form, Dry might be able to expedite that where it's like that can happen in 5 years. But it's or maybe, maybe one if she's going crazy. But realistically, there is a limit to how much spontaneous growth she can produce at a mass scale.
Yeah. Okay. Um,
I think you do want to recall you do have fruits from that tree blessed by Corlon, and those fruit have seeds. Or is that not how fruit works? Am I crazy? I'm not
yeah.
crazy,
No.
right?
Let's plant them. I don't have them though. I wasn't there, right?
I don't think so.
I think that was to Lauren,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so he could get that planted.
If you wanted, you could start planting those and see if you could get them for your tree cover. And you could have
Hmm.
fruit trees
Hmm.
all around the camp with this radiant fruit. Or you could relegate it to an orchard. I don't really know which would be better.
How many do we have?
I think you have a full basket of those fruit, some of which have been eaten.
Yeah, I think we can place some around the perimeter, and then we could
Mm,
also have some like with the other crops.
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So, infrastructure time. Trees around the perimeter, theoretically. Walls somewhere. Excavation sites for, well, basically for the training ground, you just need a big section of dirt to claim, wherever that's going to be. But it's time to start putting pencil to paper.
What's
Time to
that
start
edge
drawing
at
up
the bottom of the
diagrams.
screen?
Just this? Oh, that is the actual end of the plateau. It's basically a crevasse that separates where you are from the rest of
Or
the Cairo
the
Plateau, and this is like a
God, that's right.
pseudo
That's right.
bridge. Yep.
I
So
remember.
you do have a natural form of security in that chasm, which
yeah.
probably extends up to like here. So that
Okay.
is helping you.
Also means we can't expand that direction, but that's not a huge deal.
Correct. No, you're losing. You can see you're losing very little space in your 300 by 300 grid from that.
How big? Okay, so that bridge is not very big,
No, it's 12 feet wide.
and that's our only exit off the plateau.
Correct.
Okay, not for
That's
now, but
the only land bridge on the entire area we're in.
Yep.
Hmm.
The
yeah,
entire
that's
swath of land was essentially cut off and disconnected from every other section of the plateau, because the whole thing is the battlefield essentially.
Oh, that's right. I forgot where. Like,
Yeah.
very cool of them.
now that we have we done any digging?
Define digging.
Because I know at first they were like, any water?
You
There's no
were you
water
were
here. Or
digging
any
for
water was like,
wells around,
yeah.
yeah.
So do we have some now or no?
No, there's the water basin is way too low for you guys to get to it effectively. Which means you are going to have to rely on some intense, intelligent irrigation, potential magic supplement, and rainwater.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have an innate freshwater source. That's one of your other biggest problems. No wood, no freshwater source. I think you have, yeah, you have two water basins. You have a small water basin here and a larger water basin here.
Okay, I think I got an idea now.
Okay.
All right. So down to the left, that's our food hall.
This is it, right? This is the mess hall, the little L-shaped building, little Tetris
And
block.
what's to the left of that?
This is your temple.
Okay, those are temples.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The temple's one of the simplest structures because it's a nice open air courtyard and then small
Yeah.
little rooms. So this one is actually one of the sturdiest buildings you have because it's scaled pretty
Okay.
well for what it is.
So since the food place is there, I'm going to say wherever we like finally when it comes to the point of like we harvest crops, whatever, we'll leave this here because they're already shaped.
Mm-hmm.
What we can do is let's put the training area
Mm-hmm.
up by the little to the left of the fields.
Yep.
I think let's do that
Mhm,
because
mhm.
if we get people like dropping in on us, we don't want them being able to just get straight to our food.
Yep.
So kind of we can start working on stuff there, and just beside the temples, like going up on the left,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the area we'd kind of work on doing homes, so the tents don't have to move. I mean, the people
Right
will just
now,
move
yeah.
over.
Yeah, okay.
Um,
This makes sense to
but
everybody else?
that'll leave the middle kind of free
Yep.
to do other stuff.
Yep. Okay. How big of a training ground are we thinking? You could make it pretty large. Like 60 feet by 60 feet, 80 by 80. Like somewhere like here. Because that does make sense because it's also right next to your armory.
Hmm.
So something like a big square, basically, that you're just zoning out.
Yeah, I was thinking you could even put it like almost in line with the field up top. That's kind of
Okay.
what I was imagining.
This, I will tell you, this is an elevation change.
Oh, okay.
There
alright.
is a ridge that the field, like you dug a little bit into to get these fields, but this is like
Okay.
it's a sheer drop, maybe like, 5 feet or whatever, but it is a drop. So you do have to follow the change in elevation there.
Oh no, let's stay on top so that we do have the advantage of some height.
Yep.
Yeah.
So something like ish, sort of.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, let's actually get a number on this. Be like 80. Yeah. We can do 80 by 80. Subtract this to, yep, that's, I think, or if I go from the very bottom. Might be 1 too tall. Yeah, I'll shrink that by 1. Put this right here. Alright, demarked 80 foot by 80 foot training ground right off of the armory. Ta-da! Okay, and now here's where you want to construct houses, right? Somewhere yonder.
Is it still within the barrier?
Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. No, haha. In fact,
I mean,
let
do they
me-
have to be? The houses have to be?
No, it's just you. One of the criteria that I'm taking seriously is make the entire camp teleport proof. So
Mhm.
technically, anything you build outside of that can be teleported to. So any decision surrounding that is your choice. Now the center of this
What do
square
y'all
can be
think?
moved.
Should the houses be in the teleport proof area too, or?
It's also a scribe-proof area.
Yes, it can be a lot of things. It could even be
So-
a bubble. You can prevent it from being seen.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, there's a
So
lot.
for security, let's keep the houses inside.
Yeah, I'd say at the very least you can get a few houses like in this quadrant.
That's what
by
I
the
was
temple.
thinking originally, like
Yeah.
close to the temple. Yeah.
All right, now in terms of structure, here's what I'm assuming that are we beginning construction of these basic houses just with like Both and mold earth to start?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm open to
Okay.
just get people digging
Yep.
and whatnot.
Yep, get the floor base in. Okay. All right, that makes sense.
I mean, are we making houses or are we making like bunk rooms?
You're making things that are nicer than a tent, I'm imagining. But that's part of what I want to discuss. With 16 men in a unit, you still can't have like a ton of space. Like if you do, for example, like if you do 12 by 12, like let's get a base model in here just so that you can see. So this is 369, 12 by 12, and
3, 6,
then
9. Yeah.
get bricks up here. I don't know. Like, brah. I guess I should make this a little brighter. This would be super basic, but at the very least, you could get 4 people in here. It would be tight. It would be slightly better than a tent. I mean, currently you
Mhm.
have 4 people in this structure, like
Right.
per tent, which is gross because all the units are what 16. So if we remove the roofs, you have 3 from Lapis, 4 from Lux, 4 Piscus. So these tents are extremely tight. So this is an upgrade, but there's still not like a whole lot of personal space because I mean you can imagine if you're in here, it's not terrible. Like you could maybe have room for a table in the center and then a bed in each corner,
Right.
something like that.
Mhm.
But you could start there. It would be an improvement. That works.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we?
That works for me.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'll copy this. What kind of like layout are we going for here? Like a basic grid? How much space are we leaving
Probably-
between the temple?
As close together as we can get them. Just really pack it in.
Do you want like a little 6-foot pathway between them and basically like a row? Like, because I think, let me pull this up again. If I put this all the way back, this will be 1. Pretty easy to just get these here. Because these obviously take up more space. Problem is,
Could they share a wall? Is that a bad
Yeah.
idea?
No, that's not a bad idea at all. It kind of creates one big superstructure, but that's very doable. If I save like as much space as possible, I'll leave a 3-foot gap here. Let me see.
I
what
forgot
this
this is
says.
3 foot
Yeah,
and not 5.
because 5, it did not properly communicate the scale, whereas this much more accurately communicates the scale of everything. Which is why you suddenly find yourself being able to move much farther in combat. If you do something like this. So that's 2 big, basically, sections of row houses.
And that's 2 units, right?
That is 2 units because it's 4 in between. And in total, you have how many groups of 16? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 12 groups of 16, a group of 13, a group of 10, and then odd little groups of 5 and 7 for, I think, what? Like, yeah, your officers and, yeah, your
Okay.
little baby unit.
So do we have? Gosh, I need to check the magic school because I'm thinking about people who might be able to help. I'm thinking about people who might have spells that can help us as
Wait,
well.
probably want a little gap between them. Just from a maintenance standpoint.
Okay, I guess I would ask to Lauren for like the details of how his stone shape spell works.
The Lauren. John? Well, he's dead.
The meat.
Time
It
to
must be
look
me, the Lauren.
up. Wrong. Time to look up stone shape. Touch a
John must be in a
stone
meat
object.
I'm back.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh,
Oh, okay. Uh, I was asking, how does stone shape work exactly?
Oh, let me pull it up.
Yes, please.
touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a
He's got
section
it.
of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension and form it into any shape you like. For example, you could shape a large rock into a weapon, statue, or coffer, or you could make a small passage through a wall that is 5 feet thick. You could also shape a stone door or its frame to seal the door shut. The object you create can have up to 2 hinges and a latch, but finer mechanical detail isn't possible.
Okay. So we need him on the construction crew.
All right,
Who
buddy, you've been
else is
recruited.
able to do this?
That's a great question. Where's my...
Because I'm looking at the applications of Mold Earth. Because I can clear ground to do construction, and dig shallow trenches. I think with Mold Earth I can also make some basic walls and barriers. Um, do we know? I mean, people should know though. Like these are all. A lot of these people are. I don't want to say it loud, but like they're peasants, right?
most of them, yes.
Like, do they know how to make like basic clay? Clay brick?
Some of them do, yes.
Yeah, like we don't have to make it super sturdy now. Like we can always go back and we just need to get them out of tents.
Mm-hmm.
So if we start excavating and stuff, they can start. I mean, we get some use some of our water and get some clay and stuff.
You do need
gold.
clay as like a specific type of, dirt. Clay isn't just everywhere. I will tell
Yeah,
you,
what kind of what does ground look like?
it's very red, and you know what that means. It's clay rich. So that's actually one thing that you have a huge advantage in here, because if you were to get some people to start excavating clay pits, you could reasonably get some things going. If you had wood or something else to frame gables, you could have clay tiled roofs,
Yeah, we could do that.
which would be a little bit better. Now, it would take longer. You could frame the houses out. That's the question, is if you just want them done, you can just do it all with, mud and dirt and mold earth and just, make it happen. Or you could
Right.
frame out the walls and then leave room for, windows, other things, and then anticipate getting some wood set up for clay roofs, and it depends on when and if you want to go back for your
Okay.
construction crew
So
that you
tell
recruited.
me if this is crazy. I'm
Okay.
crazy, right?
All
Tell me,
right, I'm
right?
listening.
This is crazy.
Okay.
So, all right.
You're
We
crazy.
start
Sorry.
digging, and we dig like down,
Okay.
so that like the first set of houses are almost like basements.
Okay.
Is that crazy?
And then do you want to build
No.
on top of them, or you just want like
And then
little
we build
pits that you
up.
go down into?
We build up.
Okay, that's not crazy. It requires more manual labor, but it's certainly not crazy. Because what
But I was just wondering, like, will that mean the whole camp has to kind of like go down a level,
no, what you would
or we
do,
just excavate like where they would like emerge from there, and there's like a raised area?
here's what you would do, because this is probably already more efficient, is I imagine what Both has been doing is kind of scraping the surface for bricks, crafting them, and because I mean, just in general, yes, the whole level of the camp has somewhat gone down in the areas where buildings were built. What you're suggesting is basically just fully committing to having basically half of the floor underground, is what I'm saying, is what I'm hearing. At which point, all of the terrain you excavate with the mold earth spell or with manual labor, you can just reform into walls around it.
That's what I was thinking.
You
Yes.
just do that. And then you
So
have
just dig down and
yep.
kind of create like the structure of it, and everything. We would just have to basically make roofs for those, and then we can start on top of those.
Yep. You can do
Yeah.
that. It would be a little weird to get in and out of them.
Well, imagine the entrance to the home area. It's kind of like you're walking, and then you start this like gentle decline.
Oh, so you want this entire square to be further under.
Yeah.
Okay, you can reasonably do that.
And then we like
Oh, I
to
have
get to the
move my car.
yeah. You're walking around the camp and stuff, and then you just go, hey, yeah, I'm going down to the area with the thingies. You know,
That's doable.
technical jargon and stuff.
Of course, of course. You're effectively making a split level, but
Yeah.
with one level, not building on top of it. Although you could, which would be interesting. But starting by just taking the entire thing and having it, you'd still have this like main causeway, I imagine, that would be further down. But then the dirt from that you split to the sides, build into the walls. Yeah, that all makes a lot of sense. That actually seems very efficient. Yeah, do that. All right, I apparently have to move my car, so kids, don't throw any parties. Have fun. Keep discussing and deliberating. I will return in 3-4 minutes, and
Okay.
yeah, don't blow
Trevor's
anything up.
home address is.
I will have the recording, and I will check it. All right, I'll be back.
But we are throwing a party, right?
Okay, so what happened was,
Yeah.
I always enter 301 going north.
Okay.
So to go south, you got to turn around. Now, so when I entered from the north, you got to turn around. I don't have. I know my way back to my house from where we were, so I didn't put it in my phone. And my car's navigation is bad. It is a very old map, and it wasn't good to begin with anyway. And I was talking to Trevor, so I was distracted. And that is how we got into the situation we are currently in. Any questions?
I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah?
Why?
I don't know, man. It was
He
such
made
a
it-
simple job.
He made
It
it
was such a
really
simple
far
job. How
north
did
before he figured
How did
it
it
out.
mess up? Well, it's also so dark, so it's hard to, I navigate a lot by landmarks, and so I couldn't see any of my landmarks, and I didn't piece together the one critical landmark until it was too late. Because I mentioned that I passed MOT, and I'm like, that doesn't, in hindsight, I'm like, yeah, that should have been a dead giveaway. because I was already further south than that. But since I had entered from an area I don't normally enter from, and I entered on the wrong side, I got lost.
Said,
So where are you now?
Yep.
301?
I mean, now I'm almost back. Like, I'm like 20 minutes out. But the whole operation's a botch job now. I'm getting home after my parents, so
Yikes.
the whole quick in and out philosophy failed. Beyond the part about already getting caught. So the good news is well, good and bad news is I technically don't have to watch the dogs anymore.
All right. All right, I'm back. What do we got?
We just learned a lot of lore right now.
Yeah.
Nick told us about his mistake.
Yeah.
also accurate real life information about Trevor.
Uh-huh. That's great. I'll check the recording at 50 minutes, a little before. Brilliant. Let me just write that down. Check recording at 50 minutes. Make that bold. Font size 18. Cool. All right, let me model this out. So this is basically going to be, you're going to step down. You have this little walkway here. I guess technically, what do we got? Up here, if I move this up 1, I can move this up 1. Yes. A little better. Then you have a crossroads here. This here, have this here, boom. This emerges there. There, ta-da, ta-da. Alright, then you have this goes here.
Yeah, so I guess we would. This might be a day where it's like, okay, the training today is manual labor.
Yep.
So everybody should be out and kind of helping. Who are the magic-y folks who can help?
I was looking at that and then I had to move my car. So give me a moment, I'll pull the list again. I'm pretty sure at this point, the people who should be able to assist, because Mold Earth, what, that can be, can sorcerers not learn Mold Earth? They can, right?
They can, yeah.
It's
But
sorcerer, wizard, it's whatever. Druid,
I'd
sorcerer,
rather
wizard.
get the let's get the wizards to help.
Yeah, let me look.
Sorcerers don't get to swap out stuff.
There's a Lazarus. Dewey Moss. There you go. A little dwarf guy. Dewey. He might be one of the only other, like, wizards. Yeah. You can figure this out. It's not that complicated. No, where's your name, little man? There you go. I probably could have just pulled him. He's probably over here. Somewhere. Yeah, he's right there. FS is here. I don't know if FS knows Mold Earth. Would FS help out? How's he doing?
He can swap out stuff, right?
He is a wizard.
Yeah.
I just mean
My
how is he doing?
You know, what's he been doing? I don't know.
I don't know. His brother died.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's probably not been having a great time.
He already has Mold Earth.
You should then get out here. No more time for open, time for working. Working all day and all night. Working at the coal mine, going down. Okay, so now what you have is essentially a recessed set of structures with walls upheaved and probably with what you're gonna have. Do you want to make the roofs right away? Or do you want to just leave them as walled-in pits, and if it rains?
Well, you said these are all clay, right? So they need some time to set and dry.
These would be more mud bricks, because if you're just using mold earth, I mean, some of the soil that you're on has a little bit more clay, but it's not like you're in a clay pit currently. So it's really made of the same material the other buildings are made out of. It's effectively dirt bricks.
Okay. Because we can think harden those. Yeah, I think why not? Let's start working our roofs.
Okay.
Yeah.
use the same structure here. These ones are probably gonna be darker because they're not as dry. All right, what do we got? I gotta do this. Boom, boom. These should be pretty easy because they're relatively small. They're still not great, but they will survive for now.
And how many people did we say could fit in that?
This will cover 2 units, so it's not great in terms of space efficiency, but it is better than tents. So this is 4, 4, so it's 16. This covers 32 people.
All right, so we could remove that many tents.
You could pretty much say remove. I don't think these aren't even being used right now because you had some deaths, so these can get packed up. So 3 times. I am gonna write down how many tents are in storage though, because we do still have those. Where is this? Blah 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 blah. Can't physical improvements. Da 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 da. I'm gonna move this here. 3x tents in storage. Lapis. I think this is like a captain's tent. This is Rain and Raven Delanere. I know they're in different units. I do not remember what they're in charge of. Rain is Lapis, so she could be moved. I think, or no, Raven is Lapis. I think Rain is Lux. Yeah, so both of them could pretty much move and reasonably be like with, probably, could they be with their troops? Lux has 16, Lapis has 16, so this would cover, if you move their tents here, you can get all of Lapis and Lux in minus their captains. Well, no, plus their captains, because they count towards the count. So it realistically just means that one will have 3 soldiers and the captain. So, I mean, you can pretty much just knock these out. So then that's 11 tents in storage.
I will ask the higher level leaders to not live in the new houses.
You could, oh, you mean like these guys, the brass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As a show of like we're doing this
I
for
am
them.
anticipating that they're really not going to have a problem with that. Because it'll basically start with your captains will be intense, but it's because they're the head of the units. So right now it just means the first 2 units that get shelter are Lapis and Lux, which I can annotate because now you have, I guess with 5 people just with 5 wizards, you can probably get this done in like a day. It'll take a bit of work and a bit of trial and error if not Osnek isn't here.
But
but
we have construction people too, right?
Yeah, sort of. They can advise. You have some people from. Let me check. You don't really have dedicated construction people, honestly.
Okay.
You have some of those dwarfs. Where are the maintenance guys? What do we got? Category, maintenance. See, but blacksmith, armistice, blacksmith, cooks, Wainwright. You don't really have people who are skilled in construction. There are some peasants who I imagine might be helpful. I will throw you a bone. Check this out.
Yeah, I mean they can help, but at the very least they're helping with digging.
Yes. And then once that loose earth is moved, you can rearrange it or whatever.
Yeah, we can shape it however, but that allows things to move a little faster.
But I mean, mold earth. Here's the thing: mold earth lets you instantly excavate 5 feet of dirt, of loose earth. Move it and deposit it 5 feet away. That digging, that'll take like hours of work.
Okay,
Like,
that's fair.
Hours.
Good point.
I think what would be more helpful, because I mean, you're basically removing a lot of the manual labor aspect of it with magic. You need skilled labor to advise.
Yeah.
Because boss structures aren't bad and Osneks aren't bad, but even though they're both wizards, they're not really architects. Like, I imagine Osnek at multiple points has had to fix and adjust the magic school because the roof is falling apart. It's like, so
Okay. Yeah.
what I will do, what I was gonna say, where's my guy? Meet a man you've never heard of in your life. Meet Jack Burley. Jack Burley is a human. He is a peasant from one of the realms of noble houses. We'll probably say he had a plot in Taylor, and he has a construction background. He's not a brick worker by trade, but he has worked with and laid bricks before and can advise you on the structural integrity of things, and will recruit a few other people, volunteers, his friends from Canis, to assist in the construction.
Okay.
So there you go. That's these guys.
Actually, some of the do we have any bards? Because sometimes bards just know random bits of information.
Okay. Yeah. You have Aramaeus and you have
Son of a buns!
Torin Page. You want these guys?
No, just like if they know stuff,
Let me-
bards. They're jack of all trades.
Let me check what Aramaeus knows. Let's find out.
They know a lot of stuff.
I'll pull up his sheet. Where are you, Aramaeus? There you are. What spells do you know, my boy? Blah 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 blah. Okay, looks like absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness, his skills though. Ugh, it's ridiculous. Huh. Let me just roll something real quick. All right. Aramaeus can't really be of any assistance. He isn't exactly a man who often works with his hands to that degree, shall we say?
No. I wasn't saying like he would. Like they're just bards. They travel around.
Yeah, I know. You're saying what he knows. I'm telling you, he knows like nothing. He was avoided manual labor most of his life. So,
understandable,
yeah.
relatable.
Yeah, real. Torin, I don't know. Torin, maybe. Where is Torin Page? My beloved.
Orin would have been like an orphan kid that was taught to play to earn money.
Yeah. So I imagine he's not super experienced on that front either. Yeah, that's probably your best bet. Who else do we have here? Blah blah blah. None of these people know nothing. Yeah, none of these people know. These people know absolutely nothing. All right, let me.
But just to confirm, off of our framework. Off of our framework, I would like to start, because I think that would be key. I know we did say we have been casting teleport once a day from there, trying to create a spell circle, but we never said exactly where.
From the archives?
No, remember we said we were trying to make a teleport circle.
No, where? Where are you trying to make a teleport?
Didn't we talk about that? Because we were saying we had to do it every day for a year or something.
That's gonna take forever.
It will take forever. It's not because you're not casting teleport. You would be casting teleportation circle in the same spot every day for.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Have you been doing that? Do you know teleportation circle?
I thought we okay. So maybe we were just talking about it. Nobody's actually. I
don't remember that ever being scheduled. I mean, sure, Osnick could do it, but he's already been. He already has a little ritual where he burns quite a few spell slots a day. I think Private Sanctum he has to upcast twice to 4th or 5th level already to get it to this scale.
Yeah.
Technically, I think. Let me verify.
I mean, we don't need it right now because the people in the archives know how to get here.
Yeah.
So at least for the most part, we could just demarcate a place where this is your designated teleport place.
Yeah.
But I want it to be. It's obviously going to have to be outside.
No, private Sanctum is rough because Private Sanctum is 4th level. I thought it was Was it always 4th level? My gosh, it was. I thought it was 3rd level at the highest. Yeah, Private Sanctum is 4th level. To get it to 300 feet by 300 feet, it requires Osnek casting a 6th level spell. So
good for him.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty difficult to maintain this scale. Anyways, you could start setting up a teleportation circle, but that will also be expensive because that's a 5th level spell. So
we'll probably do that because I mean, later on we don't have to do it right away.
No.
Okay, then that's fine. We'll just create at some point heavily defendable position.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we'll dig somewhere so that it's you teleport into this lower level that you have to walk up. Therefore, you know,
Okay.
it's just
Okay.
yeah. I just want it to be super defendable.
Think theoretically. No, just put, how do I? There we go. Theoretically, you now have bunks for Lapis and Lux done in a day. A day of difficult work, and now of course you will have the issue of they have bunks and nobody else has bunks.
No, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
People have died. People have died.
Uh
Let the bard sing and play for a little bit. Tell them to calm down.
huh.
People have
Okay.
died. We're not arguing about who has bunks. Bunks are coming.
Okay. All right. Let me just have Airman roll
That is
performance
the
real
that
quick.
is the command. That is the command from up top. Like, calm down.
All right. Roll persuasion with situational advantage.
Oh, okay. 28.
28. Yeah. Okay. The people are gonna shut up and be happy that bunks are coming. There's some initial murmurs of complaint, and they quickly die down as they realize what's happening. So there you go. No, not you. There we go. Yeah, okay. All right. Reasonably, you may be able to. Here's what you could do. If you want people to do manual labor, start marking out where the walls are going to go
Mm-hmm.
and start creating a bedding for those walls. Where are the walls going to go? Oh, and that's your other manual labor. Kind of like tilling and prepping the ground area for the training ground. So there is some work to do, because that doesn't really require
Yeah.
excavation, but it does require demarcation and intentionality.
Yeah. So some of them can start working on that.
So where are we putting walls?
Um,
We want to just line the 300-foot thing.
yeah, put the thing up again so we kind of
Mhm,
can see.
mhm.
Yeah, I was thinking it would be like almost like in line with the. No, no, no. You said we couldn't because there's a sink there. So kind of
Okay.
in that square above, right?
I think we put the corner at the northwest corner of that 300 foot, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just extend it out east and south until we hit the chasm.
Technically,
Okay.
hold on. I need to check something.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that
can
works
do
for
that.
me.
I'm just checking. Further down. Okay, yes. This is, I believe, it's already. Yeah, okay. It's already 300 exclusive, not including the wall. So that makes sense. Yeah. So everything has to be within the wall here. So technically, I can have the wall pretty much flow under this, and it'll literally show you where your necessary demarcation is. Let me do this. Let me do this. Make this a little bit lighter. Because you're just going to do this. Is this correct?
Yeah. And then we can always do the thing that like cities do, where we start to expand outside the walls, and then you know we wall that off eventually, and
Yep.
then
Yeah,
Yep.
eventually.
wow,
yeah.
now we have 2 layers of wall.
Oh, should there be an offset between the buildings and the walls?
Yeah.
Okay, so technically.
All right, move everything.
Yeah. Now, you can't do this because it's cheating. But we'll just say that it was planned that way.
So we booted up MC Edit.
MC Edit is up, and the entire walls has been shifted 3 feet. Boom. Now it's still pretty narrow. A 3-foot gap between these things and the walls. Should there be a 6-foot gap between them and the walls?
Eh.
3 is just narrow. It's like a little corridor.
Yeah. I think it was just to create a gap.
So is 3 good enough?
Yeah, I think that's
Alright.
fine.
3 is good enough. The council has said so.
People won't be sneaking in around them, so that's fine.
Probably not. You never know. Maybe they'll start smoking weed back there.
I mean, They could chill.
All right. Probably wipe these out. I think that's pretty reasonable for a day's work. To clarify, the wall isn't there, but now you have a demarcation of where it is going to be. Is this a wrap on Thursday? At least probably for the physical construction.
For the people who weren't doing work, I mean, they could do some little practice fights or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sure. But in terms of like what the party is doing on our big construction goals and other things.
Yeah.
All right, we can call that a wrap. Oh, did you want to have your little recap with Sable?
Yeah.
Now that he's here.
We could do the meeting with everybody who was there and the top brass and just kind of like discuss. What's his face is gone? Khaldun, right?
Khaldun is still here.
Yeah,
Khaldun
bring
had
him
a
in.
conversation with. Oh, okay, we're putting him in the meeting.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
has to fill us into.
Are we doing the meeting, or are we doing high level review of meeting?
Oh, we could do the meeting. I want to hear how
Okay.
Sable's gonna express stuff.
Okay, cool. All right, Sable. After a day of, I don't know, it's probably like 3 or so p.m. on Thursday, and you've just observed Malachi and a bunch of other wizards creating more permanent housing and deconstructing some of the tents, preparing training grounds and preparing walls. And now you have been called into a meeting now that it's like 3-ish p.m. to review what just transpired. Is Grouger on this meeting?
Yeah, he should be.
Okay. Where did I just put?
Hell no.
No, he's gonna come in. He can have. I got a security blanket for him.
There you go. Face blanket. Zephyr secretary.
Yeah,
Zephyr secretary.
he can
Lord.
stand though.
Okay, great. I'll stand behind you. I think I just need what? Malik and Orion, Vesper.
Yeah,
Where's the funny man?
and Umbra.
Does he really need to be in the meeting?
I mean, shouldn't he be in the meeting? He's very important.
Don't let him in.
The
No,
Bond
don't let him
villain.
in.
The Bond villain wants to sit at the head of the table and pet his cat while he meets. And you know who has to sit next to him?
No.
Do you think the tentacles just stay still, or do they like
No.
No, they definitely whip around.
Yeah.
just caressing Malachi's face with his tentacle?
Well, if you get
While I'm talking, I want-
your little creature, Malik gets his little creature.
My little creature?
Malik, are you Malik?
Oh.
Invited
Oh,
Danu.
well, then you have to bring the horse in here.
The horse? Luminous Midnight. What are you doing on the table?
No, Kelliar isn't here.
Midnight, no. Yeah.
Wait,
eating
Kelly
Luminous Midnight.
should be here.
Oh, well, she can be. Hey, Kelly, are you?
All right, then I'm bringing the horse.
No.
Let's go.
No. Danny realistically doesn't need to be here. He'll chill. Let's get
If
this-
Rainy
forgot
was here,
Danuk
she'd have her homunculus.
Yeah, Danuk serves Primus, so. Okay. Is this acceptable? Somebody's not gonna. Khaldun will probably stand. We'll just Cagliari sit down if this is acceptable.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I did give Grouger a security blanket.
Okay, great. One of the old tent covers that just got packed out. Remember the tent?
I took the dirt off of it, though.
Of course,
It's fine.
of course. Give it a little cleaning, or you could have Aramath prestidigitation it, wipe it off.
I don't have that, but somebody.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. You get Aramath to prestidigitate it.
Yeah, he could do that. He could do that.
Yeah.
It smells lemony fresh now.
Of course.
We hear you talk about it in PC, and we're like, "Oh, that's me." You're talking about me.
I don't know why it's happened twice.
This has happened twice
Twice
suddenly.
in 60 seconds. I'm sorry, is your name Malik? Is your name Aramath? All right, meeting commenced. What are we doing? Malachi's running the show.
Kill.
Greetings, all of you. I suppose it is time for our debrief on our mission, in which we were successful in Objective 1, rescuing Groja. I start a small clap.
Okay. Orion
And-
awkwardly claps. Malik nods his head.
Mm-hmm. And then
Eliari would clap, but Vesper would not.
Khaldun
And,
will clap out of a sense of duty.
Yeah. And of course, second objective, I look at DeLorean and I say, thank you so much for the crucial part you played in making the escape possible. It does, however, mean that the day will come when we have to face and deal with Wormwood Masters. But fortunately, we were able to get Groja out without too much. We were also able to rescue quite a number of people, but I was unfortunately unconscious, it seems, for a little bit of it due to security measures in the vault. So this would be a perfect time for the rest of us to sort of bring our information together and sort of plan the way forward with what we know. I leave the floor open.
Well, this is Khaldun speaking. I'll say I haven't heard much from the city. I don't have many contacts remaining. One did reach out to me, however, and it appears that things are still tense. With me missing, and now Dora out of the city as well, I don't have many eyes that I can reliably contact. But the individual who reached out to me was, oh gosh, what's his name? I gotta go scroll up and find it. Where is he? What was the name of the Dragonborn that you stayed with? Who's the dude? He's up here somewhere. Right?
Oh, he wasn't important. I didn't write him down.
I did not write his name down.
I have his name somewhere. Talos. Talos. I knew it was something.
Yeah.
The problem was I had just named another dragon, like character, something similar, and I completely usurped his name in my mind. So Khaldun says, Talos has reached out to me, and he said that the Sultan is essentially searching very, very hard for some stolen items, and of course, some of you. In terms of who's being targeted, Tucat has apparently had quite a fall from grace and is being blamed for much of what has gone down, if only because he is a face who has not fled the scene and therefore has to deal with the repercussions, which I suppose is favorable. But it does not mean that we're absolved or forgotten. He is hunting for us. With our disguises, I don't know how successful he will be, but as far as he knows, I was not there, although I'm sure he suspects I had something to do with it, and he certainly doesn't know anything about Malachi as far as Talos has heard.
Yes, this is true.
Well, I don't believe that I have anything to add outside of what's already been said, given that my effective new connection is Khaldun and Tucat effectively betrayed me. I'm only happy to know that he is now facing some retribution. And of course, Lizzie is also here with us, so... By the way, I didn't know that you two, were, involved? And Khaldun just, subtly, like, very subtly nods and just says nothing. So when you say the Sultan is hunting us, what exactly does that mean? What resources are at his disposal? Well, not much in terms of his ability to get up here, physically. And certainly not much in terms of his ability to get up here magically. I'm sure he's checking buildings. I'm sure he's going through the Black Hand Caravan at this point and whatever remains of the Iron Skulls. But outside of the city, he has very little power outside of save in Destin. But leveraging those resources is really not going to get him any closer to us, with the exception of Duke Dagmar Denali. Yes. That's concerning. What do we know of him? Well, my file on him is rather incomplete, as I have discussed, although apparently your encounters with him were most enlightening. Okay, hold up, let me recall. It was Sable and Cagliari and Thaloran in the room with him, right? When he confronted you? In disguise? And you figured out, like, it was probably him? Confirming this, yeah? You putting this together? Remember when you were in the Oasis, in the room? And the guard, quote-unquote, knocked on the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sable, Cagliari, and me.
Yep. So Ryan says, I'm not sure if we 100% know for certain that Dagmar is who approached you in disguise, but I think we could be reasonably confident that there's a correlation between his sudden detection of Malachi's message to the Sultan and with that arrival. Meaning that he is very magically potent and may very well have resources to reach us. And the nature of his connection to the Sultan remains blurry. If only one of the characters had more information on that. Perhaps a vision that was shown in the previous session after a cast of divination, where it was revealed that there was a scroll, and that scroll was given to the Sultan by Duke Dagmar Denali and then signed by the Sultan.
Did that happen?
Oh yeah, that was in your vision.
Was I there for that?
Yeah, that was your. Because I rechecked the footage granted it was 2 weeks ago. That's why I had to recheck it. You cast divination. You asked, "What did we miss?" I answered your question vaguely, and I was like, "Are you sure?" And you were like, "What about this?" And then I answered the question first, and you're like, "Can I get an answer to the actual thing?" And then I went, "Yes." And then I described that. Is that you know that a contract on that, what I described as a diamond shape or a lattice structure containing scrolls, that wooden structure, that scroll, you got a vision to what that contract is. You don't know what it is in terms of what's written down, but your vision showed you Duke Dagmar Denali presenting whatever that piece of paper was to the Sultan and him signing it.
Okay, so basically I just saw the Duke give the Sultan a contract and then sign.
Yep. So much of the nature of their relationship is still mysterious, but you do know that, which you could share.
Yeah. I've been burdened with a sight.
I'm sorry?
Don't laugh at me, you dick.
I'm not laughing. I'm just such a
Not
curious
you.
choice of word. I'm not laughing at you either.
I've sought my God for help. He's given upon me a vision. One where the Duke presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
Parchment contract to the Sultan.
Curious.
Seemed terribly important.
May I ask the reliability of these visions?
Sir, I am a man of God.
Malachi, this also tracks with the vague premonition that you felt about the scroll.
Yes. To Sable's defense, I didn't quite get something that clear, but I was overcome with the sense of something about a contract, and also just the fact that the mission was not completed satisfactorily.
So, what exactly does this tell us? The two of you have some feeling or premonition about a contract that the Sultan signed involving Denali.
Well, it may explain the influence he has over him.
I'd certainly like to understand the nature of that influence given what's on the contract. Do you know where this contract is, physically, at this very moment?
Well,
Cake, right? We know where it was.
odds are we walked right past it.
Oh. It wasn't in the vault, was it?
Oh, it was in the vault.
Oh, the paperwork. I should have gone over to look at it. But things were tense. We had to deal with the soldiers, and then we had to deal with all of the armor and the shiny things, and by that time they were trying to break through the wall. It's not exactly like we had a plethora of time to read a bunch of paperwork.
We did not.
All right. Interesting. Well, it sounds like nothing much has changed. My primary concerns are still revolved around Masters and Denali, both of whom have spheres of influence far beyond the Sultans, if what Khaldun says is correct.
Yes, so far as I believe that it's accurate. I'm just not sure if they're working together or if the Sultan is somehow under the control of these demons or whatever they may be, or if it's a joint partnership of sorts.
I suppose anything's possible.
Well, I think it would be most appropriate then to continue building up our defenses and ensuring that we're ready for the unexpected.
I agree.
Construction of the wall should continue. It would also be good if we had some form of magical detection, although I'm not sure what our options are on that front. If Denali and Masters are as empowered as it may seem, or if they have any connections to Lucine whatsoever, as we at the very least know Denali does, in a level far beyond the surface. He's a duke, after all. He has some relation to the king somehow, allegedly. That alone makes me wary, very wary of this entire situation. This barrier that you have Osnek putting around the camp ensures that we cannot be intruded upon magically, yes? They cannot see us, they cannot come here, they do not know that we're here, effectively.
No.
I don't want anyone,
I
do not want anyone in the camp walking outside of that barrier. For at least a week. Consider it house arrest, or more actively, martial law. I don't want anyone stepping a foot out of it.
Is the barrier currently visible based on what you have it styled as? Or is it like invisible? Is it a shimmering field?
I always imagine it as invisible.
Completely invisible.
If we're building the wall, we'd probably want it visible so we could just follow it.
Okay. So probably.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
So currently it's invisible, but you want it to be visible.
Is it possible for us to look out and let me look it up?
Yeah, can it be one way?
Yeah, you can pretty much, you can almost style it however you desire. Like, you can make it cloudy, you can change the aesthetic of the barrier. I think it's completely reasonable within the way that the spell is written to make it visible from the inside, but not from the outside. I don't think that's a stretch by any means.
So I think that would be our plan.
Perfect.
It's not so people can't look in necessarily.
Yep.
But we can see out.
Well, you mean people can't see a barrier from the outside. They'll still see the town or whatever, your little buildings and huts.
Yeah.
Because what would be stretching it too far is having the entire dome or square, whatever it is, camouflage it to look like terrain. That's stretching beyond the bounds of what the spell can do.
But a one-way reflection is most reasonable.
In which case, that's probably what you were using to line up the base of the wall today. Alright, what this means is Daria's not going to be able to make it out to the encampment further up, and she's going to have to work exclusively within what's kept within the 300 by 300 square of the camp for the next week.
If she plans on going any further, I can go out for a bit too and cast Private Sanctum while for them to work there.
Oh, I suppose that's possible. How long does it take for you to do that? How many minutes?
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes of you being exposed. How are we exactly to know that there aren't eyes on you at all times waiting for you to pop out of our little hidey hole here?
Did I? Oh shoot! I had an idea, and it's stupid now. I was thinking of using the amulet, but then I won't be able to cast.
No, but you could use the amulet to leave without being detected.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually be... Are you saying this out loud? Like, have you communicated this thought revolving the amulet to the table?
Well, I would have to turn it off once I left, because if I had it, it would disrupt.
Right, but that's not the question I'm asking. That's not the question. Did you communicate this in character?
No. I was just thinking about.
Okay,
that.
then I can't interact.
No, I was just thinking about if.
Because I have things to say on that, but I'm not going to metagame.
No, I can cast it from within the private sanctum we're in right now.
You can, and then you can set it out to a range of like 120 feet further away. That you can do.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Yeah.
So she would be going from one private sanctum to another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think. But, I mean, you still have to walk like however many miles to get to that original site. So you can't, it's not like you can extend the private sanctum or make another one that's tied to it, but private sanctum only has a range of 120 feet for casting the, it's like inception point of the whole thing.
No, I guess I meant, okay, where are you talking about here?
It's not on the map. It's literally like way up here in the void is where the original farmland is. Because this is now a secondary set of farms. That's why I made this new map and just ported everything over here. Because...
Oh, I see.
Uh-huh, yeah. Because this little plot of farms is still covered in the thing.
Okay. And you said it's how far from us?
Probably like a mile.
Yeah. Well, I can always wear the amulet till I get there.
Yeah, it's just at some point to cast a spell you have to turn it off. And then you're exposed for 10 minutes. You can't avoid that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We'll figure something out. I mean, they don't... Whoever we're talking about here, if we're talking about Denali and so, they don't know Dryer.
I would think not. Unless whoever they're working for has already managed to spy on you previously.
Well, I don't know how much information about us being on the Carriel Plateau is out there. Have we picked anything up from your spy networks?
No, they're largely quiet at this point. Most of what I have is concerned about what Lucine knows. I mean, they certainly know that we're somewhere with the elves, and that would effectively leave us on the plateau. But I don't believe they know our specific location. They certainly could.
I suppose I'm gonna look at DeLorean or anyone here who can cast spells. Is there a means of protecting someone from divination spells?
It's not my area of expertise.
That would be a Sable question.
Would it?
Yeah. Hey, just because you don't know doesn't mean Sable wouldn't know. He serves the god of divination.
Meta me knows. Meta me knows, but I have to ask in game.
What would I roll, Master?
Arcana with advantage.
Arcana with advantage. I got a 12. Wait, it says a 12 on my screen, but it's showing a 10.
Weird.
I don't actually know if I have a character sheet up to even see. Yeah, I don't even have the D&D Beyond open right now.
It was 12 for me.
Yeah, but the dice was showing a 12 on my like actual screen, but at the bottom it says 10 plus 2.
You said you got a 12 with advantage? Oh my gosh.
You
I
got
got a
10 and a
plus 2
3.
to Arcana, dog.
Wow. Still, you rolled a 10 and a 3. That's the bigger issue. You didn't roll above a 10. Okay, here's what I'll tell you. There are 100% means of avoiding divination. You're fairly certain there are spells, but you are absolutely certain that Xerxes specifically wears jewelry that prevents people from casting divination spells on him. There are processes and we'll say methodologies that many artificers and wizards have used to create magic items to prevent divination. That's actually very common in Lucine.
Can I do an Arcana check?
Yeah.
I feel like I could have said that.
Okay. If Sable says that out loud, like stuff he's observed, then I will also chime in. From my time with the Sorcerers of Mayhem, I know that there were people who employed something about non-detection. It wasn't something that I was told I would be able to do, but I know the wizards could do it.
Oh, he might actually have access to that. I don't think
Clerics do.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have it, but he could probably figure it out because it's just a matter of
trickery
preparing the
domain.
spells.
Trickery domain, yeah.
Okay, you know what's funny? It's actually
Well-
not on here.
I feel like I would know that, the king uses the anti-divination magic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I would know what
Oh, here it is. No spells.
specifically.
Oh my gosh, you don't. I don't think you have it. You
What?
don't have it. You don't have like on your spell list. You don't have non-detection.
No, I don't.
Is he not trickery?
I thought he
Domain?
was
Yeah, he is.
I know.
I just saw it.
non-detection.
It's a 3rd level spell.
Yeah, I know. It's just not showing up.
No, it's not there.
Unless I'm blind. But if
You're
you
It's an
sending
abjuration
remove
spell.
magic.
Where? Blah, 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 class. Yeah, Blessings of the Trickster, Divine Domain, Trickery Domain. This is on 20.
It doesn't show up on my
rules.
spells.
It doesn't. It doesn't even show up on your known spells list. Filter by 3rd
Oh.
level, Magic Circle, Meld to Stone, Motivational Speech, and then straight to Protection from Energy.
Check the settings. There might be like an additional spells option.
You know what? It's there for 2024, but not.
You know, that's what I was going to
2014.
say, because this is 2014. I was like, if they updated the 2024 one, but I'm looking at Non-Detection Legacy.
Yeah.
So he would literally probably have to rebuild his character for 2024 to do it. The simplest explanation is that as learned as Sable is, he has not learned the spell non-detection. What's probably realistic for his character is when you say that, he might be like, oh, I know what that is, but I don't know how to cast it.
Okay. Well, a wizard might be able to.
Yeah.
That, at the very least, will allow us to be able to go out.
You could just walk for 8 hours. You could go up.
Yeah. So, yeah, that solves that problem.
Sable is just a cleric, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No multi-classing. Level 9 cleric.
The spell is only available for Bard, Ranger, and Wizard.
Really? I thought I just pulled the legacy one?
It is.
Yes.
The old one,
Yeah.
yes.
Also,
The new one includes Trickery Domain.
does it? It
Uh-huh.
says classes Bard, Ranger, Wizard on the new one.
Non-detection is
like-
knowledge domain and night domain for legacy.
Yeah.
For 2024, it's trickery domain and knowledge domain.
Oh, I do see that tricky domain.
Yeah, that's weird. That's very funny.
So
Anyway, that should keep us from being scryed on.
Yeah, it would. Private Sanctum obviously does the same thing. But...
Yes.
oh,
Yes. it
also
does.
Magic Mansion. Magnificent Mansion.
Here's what we do. We put the mansion out there for 8 hours. They work.
You have a
They
party.
come back home.
Mm-hmm. I missed the mansion. The mansion was fun. You just do whatever
Okay.
you want in there. All right, do we need anything
So-
else in this meeting?
No, I think we just we're on the lookout. We're on high alert. Do we have scouts? We need to. We can't have people consistently in here. We do need. I mean, we need to get information from spies, and also to just to make sure we're protected.
I think. Well, I'll probably speak as Orion. In terms of who we have that is fairly regularly outside our borders, we have Detroit, the young fellow from Winifred. There should be. What was her name? Loretta? What unit is she from? You consult his notes. Loretta Tracy. She's a tiefling. She lost her sister in the battle, but she's been faring well enough as a lookout. And I believe she's out there with... What was that? What was the name of that woman when we went to the asylum? Nobody?
What's his face's wife?
Yes, the guard's wife. The former asylum
Ju-
guard's wife.
Jill?
Something. Not Genevieve.
Jill?
Julia.
Julia. Right.
Julia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Julia has been fairly reclusive, but she's an effective communicator and has been seeming to have an okay time at watch. And she and Loretta have actually formed quite a tight bond and have been traveling together. Detroit, I would like to get a partner with him. As reliable as he is, I think it would just be good to have sets of two keeping watch. I could pair him up with Ket, who's been fairly competent on his own. And so in terms of lookouts, that's at the very least 4 who are regularly out there equipped with horns if they need to reach us in the case of emergency. It would be good to have more. I just haven't... well, they haven't really seen much of note, aside from the fact that a few days ago, I believe Detroit did report that he saw one of the airships, not anywhere near us, far in the north and heading east. About the only thing of note they've had to report. That was in the northwest quadrant. In the southwest quadrant is Loretta and Julia.
Okay.
Northeast is where Drya has been tending the soil. And of course where the little adventure involving whatever those demonic entities were. Any other business we need to discuss?
No, I think they should do it. I'll just catch some of the leaders up on how building's been going, and I guess whoever is going to be going off to the larger field where we have things, we should come up with a escort watch as well. But yeah, that's about it.
Okie doke.
I still need to start planning how to get into Lucine and who's going. Yeah.
I imagine Orion has been fielding everybody from Lucine. I have the list. It's very simple. It's a list of everybody from Lucine proper, which is not actually that many people if I break it. Well, not a sizable amount. How many do we have here? We got from 131 to 175, so a little more than 40 people from Lucine proper. A lot of these... I mean, you have Sable on here. You have Robin. You have Saul. In terms of, like, major figures. You have you have 1 captain, 2 captains from Lucine proper, because Raven Delanier's from Lucine proper. Rain is from Lucine proper. Brunel Moon is from Lucine proper. Gates, Dewey, and Jarek, who are all members of your little magic school, are all from Lucine proper. And then, of course, you have Vesper, Beta, and Danuk Torin, Aramaeus, Eridorus, who is kind of your bartender who's just been helping with food service and food logistics. Bolt Crank is from Lucine proper. That man's in jail. And that's it. Those are all the notable figures from Lucine proper. And then you have some soldiers, mostly privates and corporals. But I imagine that's what Orion's been doing today. He's running through his list.
Okay.
Right. Meeting adjourned?
Mm-hmm.
Meeting adjourned. Yippee! Freedom! I don't know where to put all these people. So I was going to leave them floating about, as they do. Alright, well that's probably a wrap for Thursday, I would say. It's a full day's work there. Which means we can move on.
Thursday.
Friday, September 3rd.
What did we eat on Thursday?
Whatever Sage or Thaloran prepared, whoever was on duty that day.
Laura, what was on the menu, bro?
Korean barbecue.
That
Oh,
actually
word?
sounds amazing.
Oh, no, we ate.
Yo.
We ate.
Where did you
Yup.
get Thaloran, did you spend some time on Guardian?
Sure.
You know, I was thinking about they can make soup and it could be the nastiest thing on earth.
Mm.
And if the wizards press a digitation, it'll taste like whatever.
It's true. It's true. I mean, you could just have Aramaeus do that, have a little prestidigitation station.
And people can say what they want it to taste like. That's crazy.
Yeah, you pretty much could do that.
Okay, are you ready? And prestidigitation. All right, eat.
Go. It will expire very quickly.
Not only that, but I have to move on to the next guy.
Yeah. My goodness.
I don't actually know how it.
I don't know how
it-
long it lasts.
How long does it last? Does it?
Pull that up.
Is it just forever?
I don't know.
What if you just make like somebody's shirt taste like I don't know, taste like something, and then it's just forever?
There's no way.
It lasts for an hour.
Yeah, there you go. Duration 1 hour. So hey, he could prestidigitate everybody's meal in 6 seconds per person, and then by the time they're done eating it, it'll taste good. That's actually a good use of his time.
Is it?
Yes. All of the food.
amazing.
Imagine all of the
You
food
turn
that
absolute
Thaloran serves.
nutritious slop.
All of the food that Thaloran serves is nutritious but bland. If you set up Aramaeus in the food prep station and he prestidigitates it to like taste better, he will be the most popular person in camp. If you let him do it, I'll do it.
If he wants to do it,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a lot.
He charges one
Well,
bronze
he can
per
only
meal.
no. He can only do 3 people at a time.
What do you mean 3 people at a time?
If you cast a spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous. So those that last longer.
yeah. He has to do it. So he has to do it like about 100 times. That's 600 seconds if he's operating at peak capacity.
No, it's. You can only have so he could flavor 3 meals, and then if he flavored a fourth, the first one would go back to being bland.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's super impractical. Oh man, I thought that was like you can do up to 3. All right, well.
No, I
Womp
was
womp.
thinking he could like prestidigitate
Now, what
a
about
whole pot.
large pot of gumbo?
That's what I'm
He
saying.
could
Yeah, the whole pot.
prestidigitate a pot. All right, Aramaeus and Thaloran need to collude on. Maybe that's what they were doing today. Aramaeus approaches Thaloran on Thursday and he was like, "I can make stuff taste good, and your food is good, but it doesn't taste good."
Up to 1 cubic foot.
1 cubic foot. That's a ton of brew.
1 cubic
That's
foot,
insane.
and then he could do that 3 times.
3 cubic feet of stew at a time. All right, Thaloran, I need you to make one of the most important rolls. You're gonna make a food preparation roll with advantage. Roll a d20.
Where's the dice? I have to accept it. There. I got 17 on my d20.
A 17. Did you roll with advantage? Because Aramaeus is helping your
yes.
meal plan. Okay, 17 advantage. All right. So what are we actually eating today? It's got to be something that Aramaeus can easily like do a whole cubic foot at once. So what do we got? What's the main thing?
Just tofu and you chip bits off.
You could kind of do that, yeah.
Oh, we could do like the worst noodles known to man.
Well, no,
we do
you
like
did,
hardtack or something.
no. You could. What if you just did noodles, like noodles and broth?
Yeah, just noodles.
Noodles and broth, because then I could get the whole thing at once.
Yeah.
We're doing that. Manifest noodles and broth, put it in a big pot, serve it out. As long as those people don't take an hour eating those noodles, I can flavor however. And all I gotta do, I gotta get a little bit of time to experiment with the recipe when I'm prestidigitating it, and then once I get it right, we're locked in. You and I, DeLorean, you and me. All right, this is Airman talking now. DeLorean, you and I are going to be the most popular people in camp.
Sounds good.
Can you
All right.
like? Sorry, this is probably too.
Uh-huh.
Could you okay?
Okay.
Could you flavor?
Yes.
Like 3 cubic feet of broth.
Yep.
And then mix it with another 3 cubic feet of broth and have it like. How would that? Would it still be flavored?
Well,
Even
I
I
can only
guess it would
do
just be watered
one-
down.
I can only do one. Oh, okay, wait. Okay. So you're saying I take the 3 cubic feet and we dilute it with the more of whatever he's making. Okay. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I don't think we need to do that. I'm just
No, but that-
I'm just
yeah.
having thoughts.
Yeah. Very, very fair. All right. Here's what I'm saying. Meals today went well. Lauren gets compliments throughout today about how good his food tasted that was created. And even though he's drained of all of those spell slots, notably, everybody in camp is in better spirits because not only are their houses going up, which has everybody excited, but the food was good. So now people are eating, and now people are looking forward to sleeping under an actual
get the
shelter
music going?
and getting out of their tents. And Aramaic can close the day with a performance, with a band performance in the square. And spirits could be at an all-time high. All right, I'm rolling performance with my plus 13. All right, I rolled a 2 plus 13 for a 15. So he could have done better.
Okay.
He could have done
okay.
way better, but he's still
People
doing
are like
all right.
politely nodding. People are politely nodding.
It's amicable. It's an
Yeah,
amicable
it's,
environment.
it's more like background music. Like we don't
Yeah.
hate it. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good day. We got a lot done that day. That was huge. All right, well now Airmaith is gonna have to do that with Sage. I imagine that you and Sage have rotating food duties. So it's like, oh, it's my day. Like it's like when you go to IHOP. Go, oh, I just got my day off. I don't have to go in and prep food. Sage is doing it today on an every other day type schedule. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah. Your camp is doing notably way better. People are filled with a sense of purpose and determination. Many of the soldiers are more energized, and many people are excited to actually be able to have crops to farm and care for. So, huge day. All right, Friday.
Huge.
What's on the agenda for today? What do we got? Same deal. We getting the wall up and running officially?
So the border wall around the whole camp, is that what we're doing?
Right now you could. That's what I'm asking. Right now, what you have is like a dugout of where the wall follows the border, just on the western ridge.
Okay.
I mean, covers. I mean, it's a lot of your wall, because then all that remains is you would put like a little wall here. You already had basically this is like a 2 or 3 foot wall that I think Both put up at some point that covers a ridge where the terrain is split with a crack in the earth, leading however many 200 feet down. So the only other wall that you actually need is this little strip here on the ridge, and then at the lower ground by the farms. But what's currently marked out is this 300-foot west wall.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. That's a pretty easy one.
Did they plant them seeds?
What, the seeds of the from the fruit?
Yeah.
That could reasonably have been done. I'm gonna have to like. This is why I really need a note taker, because I cannot keep track of what has gotten done every day, and it's extremely draining to run a session and try to keep track of that internally for myself. So, shout out to unpaid intern job that would be great to have filled. Is someone actually creating a high level summary of what we did in session in chronological order of when it happened? That would be great. But for now, I will try to keep notes of what was done. Wednesday, we did the walls, training field, we did the wall outline, we did the training field, we did Orion, surveys people from Lucine proper. We built Lapis and Lux housing. And had debrief meeting on vault mission. And then I will say Dryia planted seeds from fruit of blessed tree. Which I'll figure out. Do you want those like dispersed throughout, or did you want them on the border, like up here on the ridge? Because I know you had said trees may be bordering.
Yeah, because I don't know how tall they're going to be. Are they going to be tall?
Well, they're going to be pretty big. I mean, it's going to take
Yeah.
years, like literal years, massive years.
Oh.
But yeah, she can speed it up a bit, but to get them an accelerated sapling phase. But it's going to be probably months before those are bearing fruit. Some of the other plants you can try to get growing, like you got like tomatoes or carrots or potatoes or whatever things that Vesper is theoretically going to be researching, because
Well,
you
they're
did
gonna be
get the care
taking-
package from the elves.
If they're going to be taking a while, then we can just plant them there with every other thing.
Up here.
And then as they get a little bigger, we can transplant.
You can also do that. You have that power. All right, then I'll just like demark this as orchard territory. Get like a little sapling plot. Ta-da! Bunch of little saplings. All right. So that was done. Blah blah blah. Thursday, or is this Friday? I think it's Friday. Yeah, because yesterday was Thursday. All right, are we attempting to erect the western wall on Friday? Probably pretty easy, especially if you just take the dirt from the 5 feet to the left of it and just mound it up on top. Create a little.
True.
Basically, you create a moat, and then out of that moat, you have a 5-foot wall, and you're done. Very doable. Does this
Sounds like a
suffice?
plan.
I mean, that can be done probably with like 2 hours or less. It's like a very simple construction protocol. The only question
Thank
is,
goodness for magic.
dude, magic makes this. This is how you see how magic completely shifts the goalposts of the construction economy. Everything's changed.
Yeah, there's like trying to build my city has been difficult because it's like there's so many spells.
Yep.
And it's like just a little spell like Stone Shape or Mold Earth can completely change
Changes
everything.
Yep.
Like all the roads in cities are probably solid stone and super flat.
Yep.
Like concrete is convenient, but if you can shape stone into whatever shape you want,
I think that's why there was like a video somewhere that was like explaining
What's the date today?
Friday, September 3rd, 1632. I think the last sendings that we had done were the 29th.
Hmm.
So, putting that out there. Although
Okay.
I'll tell you the basics are really simple. Your mother's not responding. Crenshaw can give you updates. Clark is not responding. Zardaros can give you updates. And Alethor, I still need to put things on a date, but you generally know what's happening there. And he is responding.
Uh-huh.
Okay, wall is up. That's easy. It's like a 4-hour project. It's done.
What else are we doing? What do we got doing to do on Friday? Other defensive structures is noted here. I don't know what that would include, but it's here. We have a dedicated training field. That was one of the easiest construction jobs.
Yeah,
We
just making the camp more secure, I think, was my plan.
Mm-hmm.
But we can take our time with that. They can keep working on the training fields.
Okay. Because
And
effectively,
this is what, the western wall?
yep. Western Wall's up. In probably like 4 hours. So like by lunchtime the Western Wall is done. Should construction of houses continue?
Yeah.
Because you could make that another goal. Now, if
I don't know. If it's the same people who are doing it, they're going to need a rest.
I put Both and Dewey on constructing the wall, theoretically. Which would leave FS and some of your other guys from Canis who know a little bit about construction, with Bertoli assisting in that front. It would be a lot for FS to model this entire blueprint.
No, because I was going to help as well. But
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Uh-huh.
hold on a second. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Osnek could come out and assist. He didn't help yesterday. Mold Earth is easy.
Mm-hmm.
So you could do a modified crew, FS Malachi Osnek. You know, you could catch up while you're working.
Yeah.
The question is, would
I'll
you...
ask FS as we're there sweating.
Oh, yeah.
So how are you, FS?
Well, just moving along.
Yes. I know we haven't really talked since the news of your brother. Oh, watch your head.
FS is killed as it's a large bird picks him up by the head and eats him.
No, it was not a bird. I was moving some dirt.
Of course.
And you're sure? I mean, if you need some time.
I mean,
Feel free.
I've had plenty of time, sir. And stuff like this
Alright.
helps keeps me distracted.
Okay. Very good. Very good. That's healthy.
We
That's
keeping
healthy.
these tight like this? Or, actually, probably just combine them, have 4 shared walls. You could do that. You add on to
Mhm.
this. Yeah. This would probably be easy. I don't think you're going to be able to put... Because this area is a little, like, too narrow now. What am I doing? There we go. But you can bang out 4 more pretty easily. And that's another unit at the very least. Oh, wait, no, this doesn't need to be that. This needs to be here. Yep. Because this is easy enough. And then more access points here. Or would that work? Because then you're going to have to dig. You'd have to dig this side out, because then the doors aren't right. Okay, this does get weird. Because now where do you put the doors? If you do this. You can put the doors here, but then you don't have an access point to this one. Unless you dig out this whole thing here. Then if you dig this out, you could basically attach... You could attach a barracks to the dining hall. But that would be the only way
That's
to...
fine.
Can do it.
Yeah, there's no problem with that.
You could actually put the cooks and stuff there.
You could do that. You could do that. And then make a little block for maintenance. Like here. And then keep this access point, keep this. Yeah, I think that would work. I think that would work. I think your...
I have to figure out what this would be. All right, here's what should probably happen. Partially thinking out loud here. What this means is now, this should, am I dumb? Yes. This should probably all be lapis. This should all be lux. And then you can have 3 units, and then these can kind of be miscellaneous. I think you need 1 for the cooks, definitely. So I copy this, because then the cooks can go right here. Nope, no, I want. Put this down. Cooks can go there. You can put your bards there as well. Or no, your other food people, because you had you have the fisher and some hunters, I think. I put Aramath in the wrong one, which I don't exactly know what their role is at this point. Solomon David's a fisherman. He ain't got nothing to do right now. And Zyle is like, he's a hunter. So if he can, he's actually someone that would probably be good as a scout. Potentially. Or he could bring back game kills. You would probably have to ask the elves if they're like, if you're allowed to hunt on in their woods. Because you could also start bringing back game.
Which ones?
The wood elves that live to your east. The ones that you met the lady who was in charge of the council, and you met the High Druid Halamia.
Yes, I did meet her.
So, you could ask, and they could technically start hunting, realistically.
Yeah, well, it would only take me like 5 minutes. Right?
Yeah, you could just reach out and ask. Shoot him a voicemail.
Yeah, hello, this is Malachi from the cursed part of the Kyril Plateau. Like, I forgot I have a word limit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm at 12 words. Is it alright if we hunt, please and thank you? Yeah, that was 21.
Alright, is this to the druid or the lady?
Not the lady.
Alright, do I...
I mean, the lady.
What?
Nothing, it's fine.
I have to figure out, where's her name written down? When did she even show up?
I wrote her name down.
This is why I need a note taker.
Yeah, I wrote her name down. Hold on. That was session 7.
Shandara.
Oh, yeah. Head counsel Shandara, blonde wood elf, green eyes.
Yep. Okay. Did you have the message? Did you write it down in your chat? Then I can actually read it and respond to it. Because I cannot process the message and work on the map at the same time.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Okie dokie. This is pretty sick. This is pretty cool. Another access point here. Okay, so then theoretically, where's Fame, Thorn, and Gregor? These are your gun guys. They could move here. Yeah, this is a pretty good sized room. This is pretty solid for 4 people compared to the previous conditions.
How big is it? It's like
It's like 12 by
3,
12.
6.
It's basically like, it's a little bit bigger than the room I'm currently in, which is like 10, like 11 by 11 or something. But I mean, that's 4 people comfortably with beds in the corners. You could really arrange it however you want. You have a good degree of personal space. You could really fit 6 people in here if you wanted to.
Their beds are like foot to foot, but yeah.
Yeah, on the shore. But it's more realistically, it's
I mean,
you do this.
You know.
You do a spiral pattern. So like 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet,
Okay.
6 feet. That's
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
There's lots
I was
of,
thinking of how to work the door in. I was like, you can't do it that
No,
way,
that's
so you have to do it that
probably why
way.
you
but-
put it. You can move the door, but you could also technically do 4 in a row here, because this is 3 feet wide.
Have you seen our beds in Valheim where it's just a
No.
solid?
No, I'm not. But I mean, this would work because you have 3 feet wide. Like, it's a little tight, but if you do this, you have a whole full wall for whatever.
We can just let each
Just let them figure it
room-
out. Yeah.
Yeah, let them organize their own room.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
provide the furniture.
Here's what I'm thinking. The people who are going in first are the soldiers.
Hmm.
If there are any people who are like families and so, they'll stay in tents until we can get like family rooms and stuff like that.
There's pretty much no families here.
Oh, word, then they don't got worried about nothing.
Although you might get hit. There may be a time where you're hit with a pregnancy, because there are a few women in your camp, and
Yeah, that's
They're-
what we. That's
they're
what we hope
segregated.
for.
But yeah, that's not necessarily a problem at this point. It was a much bigger problem when Malik was on the move, and it was like, there'd be a woman. She's like, "I want to fight," and he's like, That's his real reaction.
Also,
That's the
like-
real noise he made.
Conceiving a child in the Feywild is probably not a good idea.
Super
either.
weird. There's just a lot of weird stuff. It's just a whole lot of weird things. All right. I have to write, like, every tent I break down, I have to write down its dimensions. Like, this is very involved. All right. Let me read this little message. Is it all right if we hunt in your forests, please and thank you? If you do. This is probably less than whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there we go. Shandara has responded. Alright, now I gotta break down this tent. Where did I put? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the cooks. This is these guys. Kyle and Liz.
I'm gonna send the same message to Alamia.
Alright. Let me figure out where. The training tent. Okay, so this is a gray 3x3. So many tabs. And now I'm at like session 5, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna take this down. Tents that were packed up. 11 2x3 green tents. We have 3 3x3 gray tents. They're getting packed up. Start there. This needs to move up here because this is a summary of what happened on Thursday. Construction on the western wall. This is a to-do list. This is what happened. We'll move this here and then move this down here because now there's a billion pages. Alright, I can pack these up. Yeah. Have you seen in the 2024 rules, I think there's like actual base building systems? Which
Yeah.
theoretically
Yes.
we're basically doing that, but without any of the systems. I haven't looked at what
What's
they
that,
are.
Bastion?
It's designed for like a castle's keep.
Yeah.
I think it is literally called like the keep system.
Okay.
Oh,
I
I
see.
thought it was. Oh wait, what's the Bastion? Is that not it?
Oh, you're right. Bastion.
How involved
Yeah,
is
it's
it? So I just haven't read
I haven't
anything
looked
about
at it yet, but I started reading it, but
I did the same thing.
I
I started reading it. I went,
listened to
"There's a
them-
lot here. I'll come back to this."
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to them talk about it on YouTube briefly, but they didn't like give a lot of details. They were just saying it's fun because you have things to come back to.
It's the entirety of chapter 8 of the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Whoa. Okay, they really went crazy on it, huh?
So there's a lot to read.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't read it. Although I don't even think I saw it. I just saw that it existed and went, huh, neat, and then did nothing with the information. Alright, I got it cleared. Yeah, I knew I was behind on the roofs.
Basic facilities: bedroom, dining room, parlor, courtyard, kitchen, storage. Special facilities.
There it is, 11. We have 15 of the 2x3 Grange. We still only have 3 of the gray, but the roofs are up here. Break down the training.
Actually, so we could actually break down, make a wall between like where the chefs are and the kitchen, so they
Yeah,
can just easily get in and get their work
I
done.
pretty much can do that. I just have to shift my roofs because I haven't kept the roofs up to date. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay. Are you saying like connect these?
Mm-hmm.
It could. I don't know if they're gonna want that. They just might. Yeah,
I
because
mean,
with this they have privacy. Otherwise, it's like where they're living is connected to their work, which is like, ew, weird. It's like,
they're still not. They're still in the military.
yeah. I'm just saying it's weird if everybody else has a room where it's like, oh yeah, this is where you live. But if they're like, well, where you live is completely connected to where you work. They also could live in the kitchen, but it's probably unsanitary. It's easier just to
Nah,
leave
nah,
that.
nah,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah.
Ain't
Oh yeah,
nobody
let me
doing that.
close the cook's tent as well. It's gonna be 4 3x3 gray tents closed up. The base. The
We try to
roof.
make sure we have equal to or greater floor space with the new system.
No, I'm just clearing the tents that have people moving in and keeping track of your, because I literally made a log of every tent that you have, and then I put them all down. Crap,
Yeah.
I just destroyed it because there were 2 here, so technically there's, let me check the roofs. These are the green ones. There's 2 aqua tents that I broke down. Well, no, this is just 2x. They're not really broken down. They're just not on the map anymore. Nah, I shouldn't need to write that down. Yeah, I'm not really keeping track of how much space you have. It's going to be interesting because obviously the buildings are way less space efficient. They're just so much nicer. So you may be able to figure out a new system.
I was just you kept mentioning like, oh, this was a 4x3 tent or this was a 3x2 or whatever.
It's so that I remember which one, because I have 4 different styles of tents that were set up and standardized, and they're different colors. The red 3x3s are from Kunigreek. The gray 3x3s, I think, they were like either purchased or stolen. I don't remember, but they're other high quality tents. And then the green and aqua tents are ramshackle peasant tents. And I have a number for each of them. So if I pack them up, I need to make sure that I'm writing it down because they're officially in your storage now, somewhere. So, yeah, just my OCD. Oh look, it's Drya. Hello. Yeah, the only thing weird now is you have this corner where to get to the temple, you now got to go like around the long way because you don't have access between the houses and the mess hall. But, such is life for now.
I mean,
What do you
we could
mean?
go through the corridors, and that's not bad.
No, it's not unreasonable.
Or yeah, it's fine.
Yep. Okay. Well, that's probably another brunt of a day's
Hey,
work. While they're making the wall, that's
Look,
probably
I
about
mean,
4 to 6 hours.
if everything was perfect, it would be astounding. So
Yeah, I mean, you can fix it later too. Like I said, I was joking, but you're effectively city planning now, which I just think is really funny. I mean, look at this.
But we got. Did I hear back about the fields from Halamia?
Yeah, you will. I just need to actually stop what I'm doing and write it. What is he gonna say? He's gonna say, 100 forest.
So many words. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Back times 24. And you may. Sending is very inefficient for my brain. It takes so much time, mental energy. All right. That would probably be another thing, is organizing a hunting group. I think Thane was a hunter too. He's just training on spears, but he could start bringing back actual game, so that there's some food in addition to fake cleric food. All right, living quarters, a little more finished.
Remember that one time I brought fish and they said it wasn't enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about it?
I'm just thinking about how much food you would have to bring for people to be satisfied.
So much. I
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
the benefit, the reason to start doing it is to cultivate a habit of sustainability and of being self-sufficient. That's what you need. You need people to work for the food that they're eating. And when that's farming and hunting. Hunting is just going to be a while because you have to like kind of make a day trip out of it. You have to go out in the forest, you have to hunt, and then you have to come back. You have wagons with horses, but those horses are also now needing food. So that's a bit of a drain. And also, you should probably build a stable for the horses as well. Okay, yeah. That's kind of going to be a pressing matter. Where put horses?
Yeah, wherever.
Wherever. Put them here. You got a spot between the armor. You like make a stable here. Open spot. Eh.
I think that works.
Okay. I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, because that's another construction job. Because I mean, you can't exactly have the horses just milling about. You don't really have spare wood to make fences. That might be the next question to ask, is if you can either get wood from the forest or fell trees. Because then you could have a hunter-gatherer party. Some who are hunting game, some who are lumberjacks. Then you can actually bring some materials to make basic things. Because you really need wood.
I'm gonna have do we have we have a few cisterns and stuff, right?
Yes. You have like 2 big water reservoirs, pretty much.
So I'm gonna have Zephyr's gonna help a bit with making water every day as well.
Oh, he can do that?
Create or destroy water, yeah.
That's useful. Okay. So what of the wood situation? Building suitable place for horses to not completely run around, whatever. The best solution would be wood. You can make stone
No,
walls?
we make some temporary mud ones. They'll be alright.
Temporary mud walls, alright.
They'll be alright.
Put the wagons. I'm gonna put the wagons here. And the horses can mill about. Alright, what do we got? Make them the same as this. Just not as high, so darker. Alright, there we go. And your wagons. Alright, that's something. That can be done. Could put Both and Dewey on that after they finish the west wall.
All right, so what else do we have on Friday? Construction of the wall, construction of more housing units, temporary stable wall for horses. All right, pretty good, pretty solid. What else we got? Here's the to-do list. This is covering most of what needs to be done in a few days' time. Like technically, if you want to bang out the rest of construction on the schedule, do we have weekends off? Is this a thing? How does this work?
When are the rest of the people coming back?
What do you mean, rest
Don't
of the
make
people?
me open up Microsoft
The
Project.
archives.
Oh, they're already back. I'm assuming it's literally like Stuart, Rainey, and a few other people. I mean, I was anticipating they were back on like Wednesday.
All right, so when they come back, like they need to get to work. The dwarves should be helping, like the training fields. I don't imagine 2 days off. No, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We live in medieval times.
So we work on Saturday.
Work on Saturday.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
think
We
it's
all-
the opposite.
What?
Medieval work schedule.
Well, what do you mean by opposite, though?
Like, I think they had more days off than we do.
Really?
Well, all right, it gets
Well,
complicated.
it depends
I
on
mean,
who
oh,
you
they would
are.
die.
Never- it
If you're
depends on what
if
job
you're
you're
a
doing.
peasant farmer, by and large, you have more time off, but you have longer work days when it's go time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of weird.
Well, the 16-hour days,
Yeah.
the work days.
They're like crazy. I mean, it's sun up to sundown. So when it's summer and it's sun up to sundown and it's harvest season, you're done. But other times it's like, I work like 3 days this week.
Where's the Okay,
Yes.
no. The magic school is just not. They're helping with construction, so that's the lessons.
Most
There
of them,
you
yeah.
go.
Those who can.
Wasn't Rainey working on some stuff? Like, what did they bring back from the archives?
Well, I have no idea.
She probably read a lot of stuff, and yeah,
Did she read Elvish?
data. Yes,
Okay, well, then easy. She could pretty much read anything in there.
Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, and Elvish.
There you go.
Yeah. I just need I need them to bring some scrolls back.
Now,
What do you want to learn?
Uh,
from a meta perspective, I understand not having a level up, but from a story perspective, I feel like she would have learned a lot of stuff in
No,
there.
I was gonna say just have her. I was about to just say that. What level is she right now?
3.
Level up to
from
like
I was
5.
gonna say from a meta perspective, after that jailbreak, we all
No, Masters isn't dead. That was the level up condition. You didn't kill him.
we could have all died in there.
I mean, we did our best.
And it
That's
wasn't enough.
crazy.
This guy hates us.
Yep.
No, he does.
Pure hatred.
Because we're over here doing city planning, like all these adult grown-up things, leveling up.
Level 9 is
Literally.
good. You're at a good level. You're in a good spot.
We got a good level. What's wrong with this level?
Nothing's wrong with this level. I'm saying it's good. Level 9's great.
I know. I'm being you.
Okay.
You got a great level here, Jerry.
Jerry.
You got a great level here, Jerry.
Jerry. Ugh. All right. Anyways, what do we want to expedite construction through the days? I think that's the most that remains. There's technical stuff going on in the background with Orion surveying his logistics network, and I'll try to have next week. I'll have more info on that. That'll be my to-do list. I'll make that big and bold so I know to do it. Yeah, most of the other work is like the tree cover thing. The crop sections, I'm assuming Dry is handling and getting those set up. I'll put that on my to-do list as well. but it doesn't like need attention in session. I think most of the hard labor that remains is buildings. It's construction. It's construction time. We got like 3 units housed out of how many do we need? For just all the divisions of 16. Piscus, Falco, Phalanx, Genesis, Leo, Fumo, Imperator, Lux, Electi, Gladius, Lapis. Magus, technically. They could just benefit from a big room. Winifred, Canis, Praetor. Ooh, what's Praetor? Is
That's
that just,
Doom
I think
Guy's
it's just
suit.
private guard.
It's a Praetor suit.
Uh-huh. I gotta read. Who's in Praetor? Who did I put in Praetor? Oh, Praetor is all of the leaders. So, they're probably gonna be the last ones to have things. Yeah, it's Malachi, Malik, Orion, the Lauren. So, basically... 7. Why did it just move on me? Oh, you're kidding, because because it changes based on whether I'm sorted A to Z. Ew, that's gross. Oh, it changes every single time. This is disorienting. 4, 8, 12. And then 13, technically. Yeah, you have like 3 of 12 units housed for a start.
Cool.
I'm looking. 'Cause, I mean, realistically, the next few days can just be summarized with construction and all of the things we've already discussed happening in the background in preparation for next time. If that is acceptable. Although the only thing the only other thing I was gonna suggest is legitimately like leverage the connection with the wood elves. Like, get some people to get wood over here. Cause
Yeah, when they
like,
go
you can
hunt, they
craft
can
stuff.
ask.
Yeah. All right, let's select a group. Where's that group? It should probably be Zyle. Should probably be Fane, because he's a Tabaxi hunter.
I think it should be people who like you can trust to do stuff.
Well, that's fine. But these are your workhorses. You can put someone in charge of them. Like, I'm not suggesting you just send them by themselves, but they are hunters by craft. Ket is also a hunter. You could send him.
Sure.
Although if he's on like patrol duty, he wouldn't be there. You can put McKay in charge. He's a captain and he doesn't have a unit currently. That's an option.
Captain McKay.
Pretty sure, anyway. Who would you want in charge of such a mission?
Who took them into the forest last time? Was it
It
the
was
Lauren?
the Lauren, actually. You can task that to him.
Because Sage can handle food.
Mm-hmm. Just put him on food duty for a while. Have the Lauren go with the hunting group. Who else? I mean, you could put Tiberius for protection. Theoretically, you'd probably want to take a cart and horses, if not two carts and horses, because then you need your Wainwright. Who else? You could take Detroit. Well, you could just take Detroit and Ket and just pull them off of their guard duty for a moment. Get someone else on it. I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't. How many people do we need to send? Like, it doesn't have
Doesn't have to be a
small
ton.
hunting party.
I'm guessing this is just a hunting party and not a lumber gathering party. But the goal would be probably Thaloran goes
and
to.
just talk to them about it too.
Mm-hmm. So maybe like bring a wagon so you can set up a little camp in the hunting grounds and then bring your game back.
Yeah.
Which means this honestly might be fine, just as a little exploratory group. Because you got a guy who can deal with the horses in the wagon. You have big man in charge, and then you have your 2 hunters. Is this suitable?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. It's time for you to herald the mission, Thaloran. On Friday, you
Oh,
were sent out. We'll say, hunting party goes to the woods. Valoran, Bane, Zyle, and Valdez with wagon. I would like you to roll for me a a survival check with advantage, and then a persuasion roll to ask to fell some trees in the wood or acquire some lumber.
Survival was 23. Persuasion was 16.
Okay. Making your way over to the elves on Friday proves a big journey. It takes, I think, I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to pull up the map. I really needed to restart my computer for this because I tell you, every time I open a window, it is so painfully slow. Like it's not,
Weird.
it's not actually that bad, but it's bad enough for me to notice it and complain about it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have like a memory leak?
I don't know. I feel like I have to somewhere, because if like when it starts up, it doesn't have that problem. So I really don't know. Maybe there's a Bitcoin miner on my computer. You know? Who knows? All right, let me look at my map. Where are we? How many miles is that? Yeah, it's a few. Yeah, it's like a few hours. I think like 3 or 4 to the forest, which means you'll probably return on Saturday. In terms of hunting, Zyle and Fane are both extremely competent and bag many kills. You return with like several rabbits from traps that are set up, and 3 deer, 3 whole deer, which isn't an insubstantial amount of food once distributed. You can also prepare it in any number of ways. You can add it to stew, spread it out real thin, or you could dry it and preserve it into meats, both of which Zyle and Fane know how to do. In terms of your persuasion roll, when meeting with Halamia and helping you set up the hunting grounds in your expedition, he says that he will have to talk to the council about whether they can provide you lumber or if there's areas which are clear for felling. He says it would probably just be easier to request lumber and they would just deliver it to you as opposed to you felling trees in their forest themselves. So he says he will get back to you on that front.
Alright.
And you return with 3 deer and a bunch of small game. On Saturday, probably. Or really, really, really late on Friday. Riding through the night. So let me write that. 3 deer, small game. Okay, cool. Alright. We attempt to build more houses?
This is Saturday.
Probably at this point. Unless there's anything else we should do on Friday. Saturday, Saturday, Saturday. It's my mom's birthday, September 4th.
Wow.
She won't be born for another like 400 years almost. According to this calendar, which isn't real anyway, but you know. What are we doing? Ugh.
What
We're
are we
over
doing?
here trying to fake dox you, and then you just dox yourself like that? That's crazy.
I doxed my mom's birthday.
That's big info.
Is that big info?
I'm gonna create.
What's
a
your
bank
mother's
account.
maiden name?
That's big info.
Not
That
the
right
last
there.
4 of your social security.
That's
number.
big info right there. I'm not giving away that. I'm not giving away big info like that.
So did Wizards came back from the thing, right?
Who? What now?
Wizards came back from the vault, not vault, the
archives?
archive.
No, they're the only person that was there was Steward.
Steward.
Yeah, and Steward, Rainey, and some of the dwarves, and the
Okay.
smiths, who they could
So-
also attempt to set up a smithy somewhere.
Yeah, because we're gonna need that.
Yep.
That would be good. I would like that.
That's gonna be one of the more intensive things to set up in terms of resources that are needed. But the best thing now would just be to start planning where it's going to be and setting up a very basic shop and then letting them
So the
complain about
hunting
what they
party
need.
went out on Saturday.
The hunting party went out on Friday. So they have returned, and you can now set up a potential schedule now that Bane, Zyle, and Thalora know where the hunting grounds are.
Okay.
So if we were to put a smithy somewhere, where would it go?
By the weapons.
By the armory? There isn't a ton of space here.
Do we put it behind? Like,
Small. I mean, you can just clear out this
What about-
area.
L-shaped building.
You can make L-shaped building.
Mm-hmm.
You're just talking like, ooh,
Minecraft blacksmith.
womp womp, Minecraft, well, of course, Minecraft blacksmith. This is it. This is what you would get, like right along the border of that 5-foot cliff, basically. You can do it.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Okay, cool.
Cozy.
All right, that's what Both and Dewey are doing that day. New job from the brass. Make a building.
I want to have Osnek make the Magic Mansion,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to take the people who have been working like some of the hardest this week
Mm-hmm.
and give them a vacation.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty easy. That's very easy. Yeah, doable. Okay, cool. That's probably going to be, by the time they finish their shifts, it'll probably be like Both, Dewey. I'm imagining that Bertoli from Canis, who just got set up with housing yesterday, has just had Jack Burley, who's someone who knows generally some construction things, assisting and having people digging, lining the walls, checking the work of Both and Dewey and whatever else. And so pretty much all of Canis has been pretty much devoted to construction over the past few days. So you could probably give all of them off. I mean, those are the people that are working the hardest, realistically. But you know, whoever else you want, I don't know. But very, very doable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write this down. Setting up a smithy. Dwarves will have to complain about that later. I'm gonna figure out where are the next houses going if we're attempting to build that. Would you be?
I just thought you would keep going north.
Well, that's the training grounds currently.
Oh. Well. Bother.
Indeed. Now
Wait,
comes the
what?
awkward.
What'd you say?
This square is the training grounds.
Mm-hmm.
So right outside the training grounds is the smithy, and then the armory, which I mean makes sense, and then you have your
Yeah.
houses. So it's just a question of, because Jacob was saying he thought I'd push up here, but this is now training grounds. So I don't know where
Where to put more houses?
where to put more houses. We could change the template theoretically.
Alright, tear down the temple and go south. We don't need it.
The temple. You would have a bigger problem where you'd be colliding with the mess hall.
Yeah, and I don't care. Whatever, man.
Right, yeah.
Actually, where some of those tents are in the middle, we could bring houses all the way over. I don't know if I love that, but
That's what I'm looking at and trying to.
If you
What about-
rotate them clockwise,
Yes.
like one,
90 degrees.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
what about over by the school?
That was another prime area that I was looking at. I don't know if you could follow the exact template, but if you'd like me to meter it out and explore it, I will do so.
Is there not another level?
What do you mean? No, this is on the same level. It's just I don't know if there's physically enough space to do the exact same template like this. probably, it looks like, with a little narrow 3-foot gap. Although I could just put it up here. If you do that, if you leave this walkway here. Oops. That's a unit. If you wanted to do that, that's doable. Eh?
Sure.
The only question is now, how do you, like, what do you do then? This is easy. Do the same dugout pattern. Same thing here. And at this point, since it's standardized, it's pretty easy.
Well, how big is the training field?
The training field's 80 by 80.
Okay.
80 feet by 80 feet. I mean, it's massive. Like, because, I mean, if you just look at it, what the scale of a person is, you have a ton of room. Like, you could do drills with most of your people there. Which, I mean, this is still a pretty big courtyard here, which is nice. I mean, now you really have a great courtyard,
Yeah.
but...
Yeah. You can put stuff eventually, but for now.
No, I kind of agree with the plan of trying to keep this open and having things around a big square. That makes sense.
Because, I mean, that would be kind of like the common grounds where people
Yeah.
socialize and meet up and
Yep.
all that stuff.
It's also very defensible. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big, clear area. Where should I try to get another copy of this in so I can get another unit in here? I can probably do it. Maybe.
It just won't be, like, level. Could it not go?
It doesn't need to be. I'm just thinking if it needs to be rotated. Like if it would be like this. I don't know. You could also just move everything forward one. And I move this up. I really have to maximize this to avoid terraforming like crazy. All right, I could do something like this. It wouldn't be exactly the same. You'd basically have like
That's alright.
a dugout here, but it's effectively the same. And then you just have like a ramp down to a little dugout pathway.
Yeah.
And then you do the exact same
I feel
thing.
like there's space for at least one more building there.
There is. It would just be isolated, which if you want, that's where now you could figure out like you could also extend the school at this point.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because you could put this would be like, hey, students, theoretically.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
little small.
you could do that.
It's a little small, but it's theoretically doable. I don't know.
Well, once we get the opportunity, we're going to make an official office for us, so they're going to take that room that we're using anyway.
Yeah. If you expand this, if you do that, that's a
Hey,
little...
we need a larger meeting room so that my horse can be in there.
Yeah, so true.
And also for like, so we can have more people in there, but
But mainly horse.
Yeah, Umbra's not getting any smaller, so.
Right. So it's very important. Very important to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What are the chances that the hunters just bring back live game and we, like, raise them
No.
and then we hunt them here?
What you could ask for is if you could try to start breeding rabbits.
Yeah.
That would be your best move. If
Yeah,
Zyle can
rabbit.
create traps to capture rabbits and breed them, that you could reasonably do.
I've heard they breed like rabbits.
They do breed like rabbits, it's true. Rabbits do breed like rabbits. It's actually because they are rabbits, which most people don't know. Most people don't know that.
Now, if you start with one male and one female rabbit for an entire year, and you do not breed any of the female children meat rabbits, with the adult rabbit, you would come out with about 40 pounds of meat.
What? Why do you know
Yeah.
this?
Because I wanted a rabbit. Because I
Wow.
like cooking, and cooking rabbit sounds like a good idea.
You wanted
I
a
don't-
meat rabbit?
No, that makes sense. I don't know if I've ever had rabbit, actually. Funny enough.
Me neither.
I don't think I
I
have.
haven't eaten a lot of animals, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I would say most.
Was this your first time having pork cheek?
I think so.
How'd you like it?
Dude, the pork was incredible. I couldn't stop eating it. You gave me that brisket and I ate it and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Give me more pork though.
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna cheat a lot, actually. You know, this is just construction. Just gotta make it work. There we go. We got teacher's room, student's room. Now they can actually all bunk there. Who else at the end of the day? Both and Dewey. Still pretty crammed, but it's better. It is better. Okay. Now I gotta do all the roofs. I can also tear down I'll tear down the tents first. Magus. Magus is done. This is a gray one. So 5 gray tents have been torn down. What do I move? What do I move next? Fumo and Piscus, probably. Yeah, I can just fully clear Fumo and Piscus. For 8 more green tents. Yoink. 8 more of these. That's 23 of this color green. Clear. Gosh, no. Clear these. You good, bro? It's a little weird. Wait a minute. What a... I see what happened.
That makes sense.
That does make sense. Alright, Fumo and Piscus. Let's get rid of these. Oh, that's... I forgot. Oh! It's technically outside of the radius. All of those houses. Alright, how big of a deal is this? Is this a deal breaker? Does this mean I can't put those there?
We just gotta be careful who we put in there.
Yeah.
If we just put some like peasant farmers in there, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but now I'm like,
Oh, the people who have no access to information go in there, yeah.
Yeah.
okay. That construction is sanctioned. It's fine.
Yeah, if they don't know anything, they're not we just have to make sure that we have security around the camp at all times, making sure people are where they need to be.
Yeah. Although Malik did request it for the next week that nobody be outside of the perimeter. Crap.
Oh,
Yeah.
crap. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So that construction may not get sanctioned. It may be an issue. I can at least wrap the improvements to the stupid, the magic school.
Well, my thing is, we can always try and build up rather than always out.
You can build up, but not with your current building materials. You need better than mold earth materials. You need actual craftsmen in order to get these roofs done well enough, and you really need lumber. Then, theoretically, what you'd be able to do is it'd be a little
So you're
weird.
telling me how much of this can stone shape just turn to solid stone?
5 feet? The
5
problem
feet
is
in any direction.
It's not
So
necessarily.
5
It's not
cubed.
necessarily going to help
because it's about the technique you're using for the roof and the weight bearing. If you turn it to solid
No,
stone,
I agree. I
yeah.
get that. I just wanted to know how much it could like.
Yeah.
Is it 5 feet in any direction or in all directions?
Let me see. The Lauren, third level.
Yeah, I'd
That's a
say
fourth.
yeah. Don't build those then. Just
Yeah.
remove those.
Yeah. I think that's
No more than 5 feet in any dimension.
Hmm.
I don't know what the fuck that is, to be honest
I
with
think
you.
it means a 5-foot cube.
Pretty much.
But you can fill. Okay, so those two go to your left.
Mm-hmm. Fill this.
Yeah.
I can also. This is like a temporary stage that was created. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to stay here.
Yeah. Break that down.
All right, Both is busting it. It's gone. It's done.
Or they
'Cause
could have lifted
then-
it and moved it. But that's fine.
Probably just easier to repurpose the stone for more bunks. Because then I'm pretty sure you can fit, yeah. Because then you get a whole other unit here. In this dugout. Yeah, that's much nicer. Oh, it's way nicer. Even we maybe extend this path. This is already what is this, a 6-foot wide path? It's not not terrible. It's okay. But it really lines up with this better. Ugh, excuse me. Oi. Yeah, this is much nicer. That's not what I want. I want it on the roof. Oof. Exit. Okay, and then it was Umo.
So who can fit there now?
2 entire units. I think it was Fumo and.
So is that almost? Well, that's not. How many people were in our camp again?
There's like 200 some now. It used to be 300
Oh,
some.
jeez.
But I mean, the
Oh.
problem, yeah, it's a lot of units. You're moving a lot of people. Like I said, you are losing space by doing this, but it's way nicer. You have how many units of 16? I think I said 12. So this is 1, 2, 3. This covers a lot of the miscellaneous people. This just little corner by itself, because I didn't put units here. I put people here because your cooks went in there. So this
Yeah,
is
once we get roofs,
3
we can
units,
just go up.
4 units, 5. Yeah, right now you're covering
That's
5
a
of your
lot.
12 units. The second that you can overhaul these to have second stories with lumber and improved roofs, I mean, that's going to be an arduous process, but once it's done, you have a pretty good system for like most of your soldiers being, because then what it probably means is above these dugouts you'll make walkways between the houses.
Mhm.
Or you could
That's what I was
even
thinking.
have external, like you could have one central walkway here, and then
Yep,
all the other
that's what I was
access
thinking.
points on the outside.
Yep.
That's it. And then you have a really nice 2-story setup for these houses. What was the other name of the one that I broke down? It was Fumo, and I feel like it was another F1. Where is the roster? Velez, maybe? Because I think Falco's still here. Velez is still here. Leo is still here. That wasn't that. Was it Piscus? It might have been Piscus. Lux is done, Lapis is done, Canis is done. It was Fumo and Piscus. Piscus. Hello. Ta-da. Oh, look at this beautiful courtyard. Now you just have the Genesis people in their weird tents awkwardly in the middle. That's funny. It's very funny. And Genesis has 16 people. They're really crammed in there too. Poor bastards. This is a very different place now. You know, this is probably the first time that I know the name of the episode like long before it's done recording. Anyone want to take a guess?
I have no idea.
Bunch of meetings and bullshit.
He was going north of that whole time.
No. Correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is home improvement.
I was gonna guess Bob the Builder is my serious guess,
Oh, okay. Moon is Fumo.
but Home Improvement also works.
Joy is Piscus. Ta-da.
Is Nick still here?
I have no idea.
He could be what's the word?
He may have died.
The meat sleepiness got him.
That's no good. Where's Eddie? Eddie is also in Piscus. Eddie now gets to sleep in a room. Alright, this probably covers well, let's see, how efficient are these people? This would have meant that we got what done on Saturday? We're setting up a smithy that is Both and Dewey. We created 2 more dugout houses. Or really it's 2 more sets of dugout houses. I'm assuming that's Malachi, FS, and Jack, what's his name? Burley.
Jack Burley.
Jack Burley. Magic Mansion Party. Oh, it's beautiful. Look how clear the courtyard is. Look at all of this space. You know what this space needs? A Walmart. And then the
You're
camp's complete.
so
Then the
right.
camp is perfect.
Oh, we could have
Once
Walmart.
there's a giant Walmart with a parking lot and you shovel it all with asphalt, then it'll be perfect. And it will be perfect. Alright, cool. Well, we're at the 3-hour mark. It is 10:22. And pretty much all we did was home improvements. But the home was improved. Does anybody have anything else on their agenda that they would like to attend to?
Once per long rest, I can become immune to lightning damage for 1 minute.
As what character? Rainy?
Rainy.
Okay. Would you like to do that? Right now?
Sure.
Okay. There you go.
You know that meme of the guy at the party standing in the corner? They don't know.
They don't know
the
that I'm
The lightning
damage.
damage.
Alright, hold up. New session title.
They don't know I'm immune to lightning damage.
You should make
I should find
you should
that
make
image.
Jacob roll to get hit by lightning.
Where's that
There's
party?
not even a
it's
storm.
It's not even raining. Party.
Yeah.
Wojak meme. Come on, DuckDuckGo. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. Here it is. No, with this face. Yes. Okay, perfect. Okay. You guys won't be able to see this, but it'll be on stream. I'm opening MS Paint and immediately creating an edit of this meme that says
Okay,
they
good.
don't know. They don't know I'm immune to lightning damage for 1 minute.
1 minute.
Perfect. I will save this, and I will make it the thumbnail. Hit me with a size 36 font. Yeah, that'll do it. Save this as lightning damage. Perfect. That'll be important for later. Close that.
It's a surprise tool that will help us later.
All right. Is there anything else to attend to? Any other matters? I'm gonna say that between all this construction, maybe there were some odd jobs that were finished up on Sunday or so. We'll leave off Sunday, September 5th at 12 p.m. on the day off, surveying the camp. Is this suitable?
Wait, what'd you say?
I said I'll assume that maybe some of these tasks were wrapped up as little odd jobs on Sunday or so. But that it's
Sure.
like Sunday at 12 p.m. when we wrap up. I have my to-do list now. I have to check the recording at 50 minutes. I have to write up info about who Orion was talking to over the past few days, who's been to Lucine proper for building his network. We made pretty good progress on living quarters, and then I'll look into the crop sections. We have a dedicated training field. We still can look into other defensive structures. And yeah, that's it. And then tree cover for the camp, which would be a more arduous task. But yeah.
Arduous.
Mm-hmm. All right. Anybody have any closing remarks, statements, concerns, spells to cast?
Roll initiative.
I don't have any combat. You're sitting at home building mud houses. So
Where are we bathing? Question.
that's not a question I have the answer to currently.
Is
Aside from
trash.
again Aramaeus, who just prestidigitates all of his problems away.
Don't think about it too hard. You're
Yeah.
thinking about it too hard.
Yeah.
Don't think about where we use the bathroom. Don't think about where we.
No, wait.
Hold on.
No, we need to at least.
You do need to have probably a bathroom or a bathhouse or
Yeah,
something.
no, we did.
Where have the people been pooping? Is a good
In the
question.
chasm. They just.
They poop in the chasm.
Okay,
Have their
okay. One
shit
of
on,
them.
please.
One of them
Wait, hold up.
holds their arms right, and the other
No.
one squats over
This
the.
is everybody stop. This is brilliant. You see this chasm? You build an outhouse, a stone outhouse over this chasm. You build a toilet that just dumps into the chasm.
No, that's the plan. That's the plan.
All right, let me write that
They,
down.
they do that on
But like a
castles.
suite of latrines.
Create a suite of latrines.
And there can't be one single one.
Yeah, imagine.
People have
poop all
been
over
digging
it.
holes in and burying it.
Probably.
Before this thing went up, so they probably went out. We probably sent them away from the camp.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's important though. Create a suite of latrines.
Is it raining anytime soon?
Roll nature. I don't know.
I want me to get hit by lightning so bad.
Clearly,
Nature.
he desires it. Yep.
Zephyr do it.
He can Zephyr do it.
Nope, it's bad. It's 8.
8. I don't know. It's pretty clear right now. Clear skies. Few clouds. No sign of rain right now.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Is Nick like here at all?
Died.
Doesn't seem like it.
I mean, he did say he was probably gonna have to do things when he got home, so makes sense.
Somebody
Perhaps
changed his
car
name
accident.
to Roger Dead.
But he just got back. All right, I have to be very careful to export this entire map because I just made hours of changes that if I lose, I will kill myself. In Minecraft.
Notch announced Minecraft 2.
He did do that, and I am very curious. All right, now I have to load this up and really make sure that it's saved.
Beep it.
We go to import. Import. Session 13. Where in the world am I? What? I really hope that didn't export there. Okay, it looks like it didn't. And this. Open. Import.
The spell
my
levitate is very funny. You just
Uh-huh.
you go up.
Uh-huh.
One creature or loose object of your choice rises vertically up to 20 feet and remains suspended there for the duration, unless they succeed a con save.
Okay. Great. Great stuff. Okay, I think we're good. Everything is saved. Everything is done. Yay. Okay. That's all. Nobody else has anything else? No final remarks? Okay.
My
well,
lightning resistance is probably wearing off about now.
Yeah. Also, Grouger died of dysentery off screen, so that's that. Rescue mission failed. Okay. Bye bye now.
He picked it up as a slave.